He's so annoying. This commentary YouTuber, like, I don't know if he can't, like, listen or, like, what's wrong with his brain, but the point that I was making with that clip that got taken out of context again, or, like, he just didn't understand what I was saying, is that we were in a shakedown lawsuit, and part of the reason why they thought that they could bark up our tree was because commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job.
That literally makes no sense. Anisa Johma crying about me again about a year-old video. Still talking about it. Still even tweeting about it. As of today, 10 a.m. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen the clips regarding Anisa's Twitch stream. For those of you who actually watched my reaction to their Patreon podcast, The Bog, one of the producers, I think like Dan is his name, or Dane, he suggested that Anisa start live streaming again. And I don't know, man. Maybe that wasn't the best suggestion, because her reaction's been nutty. I can go over it myself, but I figured since, you know, some people have been covering it, one of which being Connor, ex-editor of LolCow, now his own YouTuber. Let's look at Connor's video on this.
Commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job,
Dude.
let alone put on a whole event.
The part leading up to that, too. She's talking about my video. She's like, I don't like Bowblax's video, so I know he doesn't have a real job.
Okay? You have no clue.
The middle finger randomly just all of a sudden. Yeah, I'm chilling. Dude, the fucking... Dude, whenever someone does that, I always find it so goofy. Not just the middle finger, but, like, it's the face with it, too. Like, I'm owning you with this finger, you know? It just... I don't know. There's just something about it, man.
I love that middle finger. You can see the just pure, unbridled rage. Just
dude, it was like a surge, dude. A surge of fucking unhinged rage,
flips off the
bro.
camera. Holy shit. She is pissed. And
She's
someone
mad.
provided some amazing fan art that really just shows the rage that she's producing in this clip.
Oh, that's misogynistic art.
But it keeps going. It keeps getting worse. Let's keep watching.
You fuckers that are looking at this right now, I know.
She's like acting like a witch, bro.
I know you were the one to curse the land. I will put a spell on you.
Like, holy shit.
Know that you would fucking cry if I said something to you in real life. I know you would cry. How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers in real life, and you have cried.
Dude keeps editing the middle finger in there. It's
we'll get into the specifics of that. Connor might mention it. Someone else might mention it, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But needless to say, her story's exaggerated. I don't think anyone's gonna legitimately cry because Anisa's mad. Like, what? Maybe if you're Ian.
cracking me up. But I was wondering watching this clip, who the fuck is she talking about that she made cry? Is it Ian, her husband, and Mana G? No, she's actually referencing Rusty Cage. Because apparently Rusty Cage just apologized to her for tweeting out something pro-Froggy Fresh during the Creator Clash shit. Just watch this clip.
That's not even anti-Anisa, that's just pro-Froggy Fresh.
I paid money, I'm on the floor seats, and I see like some shenanigans going down. I take a photo of it, it's just people holding up a sign. It said Froggy.
Yeah, Rusty Cage too. Do you really believe that Rusty Cage, in real life, shed tears in front of Anisa legitimately because she was cursing him out and calling him out? And no. What, Rusty Cage, the knife game guy, the guy who faked his death with a Mr. Beast style guillotine? No. What?
He did nothing wrong.
Seemingly innocuous.
Yeah, right. I go to this after event, and Anisa comes up to me. She comes up and says, that tweet was really not cool, and I just apologized. I felt kind of like a bitch. I was like, why the fuck did I apologize?
I'm gonna sweep for Rusty Cage here a little bit. It is cringe that he apologized, right? But you're in the middle of, doing something. Someone comes up to you and is like, you did something mean to me. You just quickly say, oh, I'm sorry, and walk away. But then you didn't, really fully process what you were saying sorry to. It could have been a scenario like that. I feel like that makes more sense, but
cry and bawl his eyes out. She approached him completely unprovoked and said random shit about how his tweet wasn't cool, and he said sorry in the moment. Probably because she came across looking deranged and crazy. Probably looking like this, honestly, directly to Rusty Cage's
Fuck you! Like, whoa, sorry, okay.
face. And at this point, it wasn't really fully known just how unhinged she is. So Rusty Cage probably was taken aback just by shock. He was like, damn, okay, my bad, sorry. And then he's just playing it up a little bit in an interview with Brandon Buckingham, saying I felt like a bitch. But of course, she remembers every single detail of that. She's been thinking about this every day, fantasizing about the time she made Rusty Cage say sorry. And she's like, I can make commentary YouTubers tremble at my feet in fear. Just completely living in fantasy.
Yeah, dude, I think ever since that confrontation, that's probably when Anisa started tweeting like, oh, people are scared of me. I know things behind the scenes. We're watching you. Remember those tweets from her where she tried to like intimidate people? Don't get too comfortable. We're watching. That's probably where she got that
But
confidence.
it keeps going. Let's watch.
This is the
Say
truth,
that.
okay? Ian keeps me on a leash, okay? And I'm okay with that because I need to be on a leash.
I'm so OP. I need to be put on a leash or else I'll destroy all these people's careers. Dude.
I need to be on a leash, a tight leash, to be honest, because I am unhinged.
She's finally saying what we've all been thinking. It is true. She definitely needs to be on a leash, probably a tighter one
Bro.
than what Ian is doing right now. Because I don't think that man has the guts to keep her on a leash at all. She's definitely bullshitting. If he did, she wouldn't be having this kind of unhinged meltdown on stream. That's insane. And it keeps going. She's about to talk about Anisa.
Well, it
on
did
here,
get deleted, so
which is just, it's the biggest eye roll I've ever seen.
I feel like more
maybe Ian was like, "Yeah, you can start streaming again. That'd be cool. I'm looking forward to it. See what you can cook up." And then she just does this, and he's like, maybe delete that VOD and try not to talk about drama in the future on your streams, babe. Like, that's probably what he was like.
people hate me than Onision. And maybe it's because I'm
I
in
don't
it,
know.
like
I'm
I'm
just
seeing it. But that's what
Guessing, bullshitting, joking.
it feels like. It feels like I quit college to become the most hated person on YouTube.
Is this woman serious? Is she for real? Did she pay any
Most hated.
attention at all to anything? And it keeps getting worse. She then tries to flex her credentials to say that she's justified to run Creator Clash. And her credentials are unironically that she worked at
Did
Dairy
anyone tell you to quit college? Yeah, I mean, I quit college once I made enough money on YouTube. But, like, why is that, like, a flex? I've been to college! I've had jobs that are Dairy Queen and a pet store. Like, okay, I'm sure majority of people have had jobs of that caliber. It does, so you know how to work a 9 to 5. I don't see how that correlates to anything going on with like Creator Clash or whatever. Oh, what are your credentials for running Creator Clash? Well, you know, I worked at Wendy's, so like I kind of know what a real job's like. I'm definitely not on Discord all day. Okay. Like what?
Queen and PetSmart. Listen to this.
That's
Like,
the other thing.
How is that a flex? Like, you don't have real jobs. Like maybe this insult would work a little bit better if she's like, oh, you know, I've been an accountant. I've been, I don't know, like even like you know, me. I've worked in a hospital. You know, you don't have to, you know, have years and years of training just to be working in a hospital, like baseline. But it's definitely more than, you know, Dairy Queen. Oh no, I didn't get the ice cream blizzard to the customer in time. Like, wow, what a great lesson that will translate over to running a charity boxing match.
That a lot of these people assume is that I never worked a real job, but I didn't get on the internet until I was 21. I had to pay for my own I was in college working like a fucking serving job, okay? I was doing both. I had 4 to 5 classes a semester, and then I would go
Okay.
work a serving job, okay? And before that,
Okay.
I worked at a pet store and a Dairy Queen
Okay.
because
So you had a busy schedule and you could maintain it? That's cool. Good for you. A lot of people can. Okay?
I function in society. And then I got lucky, right? I got lucky and I started making money on the internet, so I quit.
So just to be clear, everyone in the comments, before you criticize Anisa or Creator Clash,
I function in society so well that I quit participating in what I consider society.
Anisa came back to streaming today and immediately started talking about Ian's IBS. Her evil knows no bounds. Listen to this.
As soon as gluten enters his system, any gluten,
Dude, she's talking about the IBS again, bro.
his body thinks that he's like,
Dude,
is
the
it-
chapters, Ian's IBS, Dairy Queen credentials, worse than Onision. Dude, these are some banger chapter
it's
names.
something bad. It attacks it. And so his intestines and stomach get inflamed.
Anisa details
true.
a time Ian almost had an accident on a drive.
Bro! No!
Canada. You've got to be kidding me.
This one was really bad. We were driving from Seattle to Edmonton. We had stopped for Tim Hortons, and he had gotten donuts and a double-double. In Canada, we don't use oil-based creamers. We use cream creamers. So the combination of the gluten from the donuts plus the lactose caused him to have an emergency. Like, he had to, like, stop the car. And, like, he thought he was gonna have to go in the woods because it was so bad, but we ended up finding a bathroom.
Why is she saying any of this? What the fuck what is going on, man?
It's so funny because iDubbbz, not so much Anisa, but especially iDubbbz used to be like, I'm not saying anything about my personal life. And now it's the complete opposite. Like, on fucking their Patreon podcast, on their, like, their main podcast, everywhere that isn't, like, iDubbbz's main channel. They're, like, fucking just saying whatever.
Dairy Queen and Ian.
I don't even think Ian minds. Like, honestly, we say, like, oh, it's fucking poor Ian that Anisa's saying this shit. I don't think Ian cares. And I don't feel bad for Ian that Anisa's saying this shit. It's just funny that she is. Because what they're gonna do, and this is always how they respond, they said in the Patreon podcast, like, Ian and Anisa, they think that, like, I don't know, we, like, want to save Ian from Anisa, and we're like, oh, we want old Ian back. Dude, I don't give a fuck about Ian. I'm just living it, laughing at cringe retards on the internet. So it's like, they don't understand that. They think, oh, it's all about them. They're addicted to me. They want me to be a better girlfriend to Ian. I don't know how. I'm like, what, dude? Chill.
Pants,
Chill.
I
Just
guess,
don't be retarded.
Anisa just can't help
I don't
herself.
fucking, dude. I don't know. I guess there's other critics of Ian and Anisa. Dude, I don't give a fuck that they're married. I don't give a fuck that they're together. I just think they're fucking cringe and retarded, and I want to laugh at them. Shout out to Solid Harax for archiving this on Odyssey. Let's get started, dude. The dog. Even the dog's terrified of her, man. Fucking 0 seconds in, the dog's like, dude, Anisa's gonna get fucking pissed again! Fuck! No! Oh, pretend to be asleep, dude. Dude, Anisa's coming. She's gonna get mad. Dude, I'm just trying to sleep, and she keeps fucking raging about commentators.
1800, 1800. Speed.
Dude, is he okay?
He's like a totally different human being. Which is, like, good for real life, but bad for the internet. And that's kind of been what we've been wrestling with for the past, like, 4 years, is, like, every time Ian gets better, like, whether it be physically or mentally or, like, his relationships in real life, like, you know, anytime there's an improvement, it feels like the internet, like, gets more and more allergic to him. And it's hard to, like, hide those improvements. Like, it's hard to, you know, keep doing the same thing when your body and brain and everything has kind of, like, moved on. And
it's, like, so vague. It's like, okay, there probably is improvements with Ian, like, genuinely, like, in his mental health and relationships, probably. There's probably also things that aren't as good as they were in the past. I mean, people change, and, you know, clearly Ian has changed, but to say people directly have problem with improvements, like, what's an example of an improvement that people have a problem with? No one's mad that Ian is not saying the N-word anymore. It's more like the attitude and the confidence to be like, well, I know what I'm saying is the truth, and just because I say it in a rude way doesn't mean it's not true. And then, like, the jokes, like, layered on top of that and all that. That's why people liked Ian, and you can have that. Content cop could still exist while just, you know, being different. Or just not even content cop specifically, but just Ian's videos. It's not like he is making the same content he used to, but, like, more PC. Like, he just didn't make content, and then, you know, you guys know the history of iDubbbz, so.
And it's like this weird dance that you have to do of, like, okay, well, I'm happier. This is Ian. I'm pretending to be Ian. Like, I'm happier, but, like, you know what I mean? Like the internet is not happy.
Is he happier? He said he, like, was losing confidence in the Bog podcast. I don't know. I guess if he is happier, I'll take his word for it. But again, like, nobody gives a fuck. A lot of people just don't give a. This is what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't give a fuck about, like, you know, Ian's personal life, your personal life, whether you have, like, a good marriage, a bad marriage, whatever. I'm just saying, if you do something cringe online, like fuck up an entire charity boxing event, you know, to the point where it doesn't do any donations, or fucking up with the Froggy Fresh stuff, or the way you even went about communicating it, it's like, us being mad at that has nothing to do with your personal life, or us being mad that, like, yeah. Now, I'm just speaking for myself. I keep saying us, but I'm just gonna keep speaking for myself, because I know there's some people who are like, oh, if only Ian didn't date Anisa, but I think most reasonable people who are critiquing Ian, who aren't just like complete edgelords just trying to say shit to be fucking retarded. Yeah, I don't, like, no one cares. That's not what we're mad about. They think we're more parasocial than we are. Or at least, you know, she mentions me directly, so I'm taking a lot of what she says as directly to me, but obviously she's talking about a vast group of people generally, so it's... Maybe I shouldn't be taking it that way, but yeah, I mean, like, when she keeps calling out my videos specifically and referencing me specifically in relation to these problems she has with, you know, critiques of iDubbbz or critics of iDubbbz in general, and it's kind of mixing it all in. I don't know.
They're just jealous of him. I was a huge fan of his years ago, but it made
Jealous? Dude, I am so jealous. 150k views this month? Oh my god. And plus 300 subs. Dude. More subs gained than iDubbbz. But iDubbbz promoted Maximum Damage in his most recent video with Chad and Max, dude. What the heck? Yeah, but I am really jealous of that, you know, 30k extra views they got on their Let's Plays over my shit on my second channel.
makes me so happy to see y'all happy and moving forward with your interests. Thank you. That means a lot. People on the internet want to see people fall, and then they can stomp on them. It's so shitty. Yeah, that's really what I think. The best way to put it, I feel like maybe I should wait until this ad break is done. It's like 50 seconds more. Because I do have like thoughts about that. I mean, we process it every day. Like we're thinking, obviously it's our lives, so we're thinking.
We're processing it every day. I mean, I guess it is their lives, but not entirely, right? Like, yeah, like if I'm getting hate online, like let's say a large amount of hate I got in recent memory was last September when I made that Pokemon Banana tweet or whatever. I can go offline and that drama does not exist until I go back online. Well, I mean, you know, people are still talking about it while I'm offline or whatever. But there's other things I can do. Like, I wasn't just, like, only thinking about that, right? That's, like, when it's happening, right? Like, obviously I was thinking about it a lot because it was happening. But with this whole, like, Anisa stuff, the creator class stuff was a year ago. You're thinking about this every day. I know that, like, you know, people... every once in a while, like, Anisa and iDubbbz, like, get shit on, you know, like, with the Patreon podcast coming out, or, like, something else happening where people make, like, a new wave of videos on them or whatever, that are just really quick or whatnot, but I don't know. I don't get as much hate online as them, so maybe I can't say definitively, but think about YouTube drama every day. Every day. No, that's unhealthy. What the fuck? Every day? Literally every day. Literally every day thinking about haters. No wonder you're not just focus on making new I don't know. Dude,
Obviously,
it's a little insane. Every day. I get like maybe every day for the month it happened or after it happened. Like with the Creator Clash 2 fuck up. I get them thinking about that especially when they're trying to run the event and get all, you know, deal with the PR and everything. I get every day then. But every day, like, August onwards, like, really, it's just, like, you gotta have something else in your life, right? It's not, I mean, obviously they're gonna think about it a lot, but the main point I'm getting at here is, like, is there really nothing else in their life that they can, you know, focus on to the point that it's every day? Really? It's every day, bro?
Maybe.
I get, like, maybe every week, every couple times a week. I bet, like, a lot of these reactions, especially based on what they're doing, like, stump them, right? Like with Ian, like, okay, what is the real reason people don't like me? And that's why they come up with all these, like, weird reasons, like, oh, they're mad that, like, you know what they said in the Patreon podcast, for those of you who watch that, Anisa said, oh, people are mad at Ian because he got a wife that isn't Asian and petite and has a deeper voice than most women, even though I don't even think that's true, but regardless, that's what she said. It's like, you're just making up reasons because you can't comprehend. Like, there's just some mental disconnect, right? And it shows through their conclusion of, you know, why they think people hate Ian. Like, for example, Anisa tweeted this about my video today, right? Where she's like, they won't admit they are wrong. Like, it's that they clearly have no clue. That's literally what I should be saying to you. That's literally what I do say to you. Like,
The decision to do OnlyFans,
what?
it came at a time.
Why is she talking about this again? Just do the OnlyFans. Dude, really? Dude, how many years? How many years has it been? How many years has it been since the OnlyFans controversy? I don't give a fuck! Who cares? What? I mean, dude, I guess talk about whatever you want on your stream, but like, literally just like, get over it.
When all this stuff is so interesting to me. Sorry, that's a great question. I completely forgot about. Oh, Ian forgot about the bog. I think he's gonna upload it once he's home, so it'll probably be late. Okay.
I
so
can complete that thought.
when me and Ian were like mid-relationship, people really cared about my clipping my stream because Ian wasn't really a sharer at all back then.
Wait, why'd she bring up the OnlyFans? Did she like bring up the OnlyFans, lose her train of thought, and move on to something else? She did.
And I think people wanted something. They wanted something.
It's always on her mind. Like, people don't like me because of OnlyFans. People don't like me. People don't like me. It's in her head all the time, rent-free, constantly. You can tell by the way she talks. She's just like bringing up shit that she thinks people hate her for out of the blue and can't even like finish the thought and then moves on to something else she thinks people hate her for. Who cares? Dude, honestly, dude, it's hard when people hate on you a lot, but at this point, you could do anything and it would be the same level of like hate at this point. So just do whatever the fuck and stop thinking about it. I don't know, it's easier said than done, but dude, why am I giving legit advice? Like, I watched this and I just want to give legit advice because it's just because obviously I have mental problems too in terms of like rumination, anxiety, or whatever, but it's like, so like I know the solution to these issues. Anyone could learn. I don't even think you need to be like that smart socially or psychology wise to know that she needs to fucking log off. Like, what?
Every time I streamed, I felt like I could say less and less because I was afraid of like things getting clipped out of context or just clipped in general and like put in a 500,000 viewed video about how I hate Parasocial or whatever the topic was.
Yeah, I can see that being frustrating, and I sometimes get that feeling too. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, you can't control people clipping you, and maybe sometimes you'll say something wrong, but you control what comes out of your mouth. And maybe something bad, you'll say something, it'll be taken out of context or whatever, but you know the truth and you can clarify it, and like, you don't have to just like let people lie about you if there's legitimate lies. Now, I think she's just coping and there isn't a legitimate explanation, so she's just like acting like she was defenseless or whatever. You can respond. Like, what? Like, you can use your own words. Like, I get being paranoid about like being clipped out of context. Like, maybe you're not in the right mindset to be monitoring every little thing that's coming out of your mouth, so you're not like in a streaming mood or whatever because of that or something. But you know, at the end of the day, it is your mouth and you can control what comes in and out of it.
It got to the point where I was like miserable streaming. I was spending a lot of time debating quitting. And Ian was like, well, maybe like there's something else you want to do. Like maybe there's like another avenue online where you can like make money and be happy and you know, still do this, but without streaming anymore. And I quit streaming basically. And I started doing OnlyFans. That was like, to us, it seemed like such a great idea. It was.
Wait, I don't think she's ever explained that this is why she opened OnlyFans. I thought it was because before she was saying like, oh, it's because I want like, I guess this does, maybe I should have seen it because she was, I think her original reasoning was like, I just want to kind of have my own independent kind of source of income and not be like reliant on my husband and like have that kind of financial independence. I think that was the main reason, but that I guess ties into like the fact that she wasn't making enough money with streaming. But she's saying the issue with streaming was the clipping out of context, not making enough money. But then her original reason for doing OnlyFans was because she wanted an income of her own. But now she's saying she went to OnlyFans because she was getting clipped. I don't know. I guess it could be both.
Just starting to get traction. I would have been one of the first to like get in the door. And neither of us were insecure about like me doing it. I would argue I was more insecure about doing it because I have like body image issues and stuff. But we thought it would be great for like my self-esteem and proving to myself like I can do something like this. And and we thought like there would be certain people that would be upset about it. But like the reaction that we got was so like explosive.
The thing is like it was explosive, but also a lot of that explosion, not all of it, but a lot of it were just jokes and people laughing about it. And it's something that iDubbbz would laugh about if it was, you know, not himself in that position and maybe like a couple years earlier, you know? So it's just that like iDubbbz, the edgelord, whatever, is dating someone with who opened an OnlyFans. Oh my god, like that's funny. Let's make videos on it, especially like when iDubbbz had like, I guess, a better reputation at that point. So it was like, oh my god, iDubbbz cooking. Like it's just a story. It's like a news story, I guess. I don't think most people were upset. I think it was more joking. I don't know. Like, it just seems like such common sense, social common sense, which is crazy that I'm explaining it to Anisa. Because people had to explain this to me when I was a kid growing up because I'm autistic. But, like, dude, like, there's, like, how can you not conceive that there is another reason for this reaction other than anger and upsetness and disappointment? There's millions of people reacting to this, hundreds of thousands. I don't know, dude. It's wild.
It really knocked us off of our, like, everything went for a loop. The internet was waiting for Ian to trip. Does that make sense? They were waiting for Ian to trip so, like, they could get on top and just start, like, ripping. That's when it...
Not really. It's more like all the people who make commentary videos and criticize people were inspired, most of them were inspired by iDubbbz, either to start or to, like, alter their content because of his popular content. And then they saw a situation where they could make a video on that person. And they did. You know, because that's what Ian would have done. It's like, well, I guess from people's perception of his videos, I don't know if he actually would have done that. You know, Content Cops came out so few and far between, but if iDubbbz was, you know, a daily commentary channel, he definitely would have made videos joking and making fun of this. I don't know what's so wrong about that. Just joking and making it's insane how disconnected Anisa is from reality that I feel like I have to explain the most common things. I'm like, you guys in chat know. You guys in chat know. You're not stupid, but I have to explain it like 1 + 1 = 2 because that's the way. She literally has like kindergarten level social skill, social awareness. It's insane.
Ian's name, birthday, like siblings, all of that is like completely false on the internet. He had never shared anything about himself ever. And I think people were waiting for something. And once that happened...
Oh yeah, people were definitely waiting for Ian to like share something about his life. But that wasn't out of like, I want to get him on something. It was more of like, I'm curious because iDubbbz like doesn't share anything about himself. It was a curiosity at that point, not people waiting for him to trip. It was people waiting to, you know, see if he opens up more. They were just fans. I don't know. They're making it all feel so personal. Like I feel like they're being more parasocial back to the audience than, you know, the audience being to them. They keep assuming the audience is more parasocial than they are, which in itself is kind of making them parasocial, because obviously there are the impressionable teenagers or whatever, but like, I don't know, think back to being a teenager, you're like a fan of a YouTuber or something, or even like as an adult, you're like a fan of something. You watch all the videos, you love it, you buy their merch, but are you really like obsessing over their wife, you know? Like, I like Seth MacFarlane shows. Like, I think Ted's show is great. I think The Orville is a great show. I think he's a funny guy on interviews, so I would say I'm a Seth MacFarlane fan. But am I, like, looking into how his relationship is going with his wife? Do I really care? Now, if his wife ended up having an OnlyFans and people memed about it or whatever, I'd be like, lol, I'd talk about it maybe a little bit. But do I really care about the relationship at the end of the day? No. Do I care about any of the stuff that Anisa's saying that iDubbbz fans care about? Now, I know it's a little different because as an actor, but even with, like, YouTubers, I don't know.
It was a very hungry pack of dogs. It's basically like Ramsay Bolton from, like, Game of Thrones, right? Like, they don't give a shit, like, who they're consuming, who they're ripping apart. Like, they just want something to rip apart. And even more delicious that it's, like, the person that was taking care of...
Okay, that last part's a little weird, but, I mean... She's saying it in an extreme way, like rip apart. But yeah, when you're a commentary YouTuber, especially when it becomes like your job to consistently make commentary videos, you are looking for something to laugh at. And when something comes up, bam. You know, I guess that could be interpreted as the dogs were waiting to dig into something, which I guess is true. We're waiting to dig in and laugh at something, but it's not personal usually, unless they do something that would make it personal. So I don't know.
Of them for so long. Do you know what I mean? And that's
Also, like,
want something to rip apart.
this?
And even more delicious that it's like the person that was taking care of them for so
Taking care of them. Like, what, like, you see what I mean with the parasocial verbiage that she's using? Taking care of. What? iDubbbz is just a person, like, okay, let's say the most parasocial case scenario for, like, a commentary YouTuber site. Like, you're a big iDubbbz fan, you watch all his videos, you're inspired by him, you make videos that are maybe even borderline copies of him. Maybe you make your own versions of comment cops, or you have your own, like, little skits, you know? Like, Okinawa got inspired by iDubbbz, probably, partially, to, like, put skits into commentary videos and stuff like that. I guess, like, you're a little bit obsessed, so it's like, ooh, I'm gonna look at all his tweets and, you know, see what he's up to or whatever. But even in that scenario, would the guy feel like iDubbbz is, like, taking care of him, like, coddling him, like, ooh, I don't know what I'd do without iDubbbz, dude. He's my father figure, dude. I wouldn't know how to do anything in life without listening to his take on slurs. Like, what?
And that has been something that has been really hard emotionally, like mentally, to wrap our heads around. Because it feels like there's nothing, right? Like, now it's
Yeah, because you don't understand, clearly.
just
I don't
anytime
know.
there's any attempt to, like, get up, you know, it's like fish to, or shark to blood or whatever, where, like, they just come back. Like podcasts, they're there, you know. This stream, I'm sure will get clipped and whatever. It's very dedicated. Like, there's hate videos get more views than, like, you know, Ian's video.
Yeah. I guess it is dedicated in terms of people, like, you know, you have some hate watchers looking for some juicy clips, but not from me, not from commentators. We just come across this shit. Like, I didn't know you were fucking streaming. You have me blocked on Twitter. I'm not seeing these stream announcements.
Crazy to me that people can see Ian get a beautiful girl who's confident enough to do OnlyFans and immediately call him a beta. It's so mind-boggling to me. It's weird. We weren't prepared for that at all. But the hate is crazy. How do none of these people have anything better to do? Some of them are very dedicated, like crazy dedicated. Some of them, like, subscribe to the Patreon and everything and are clipping that. Which, I mean, hey, we try to keep, like, the more salacious stuff behind Patreon. So, like,
Really? Really? I mean, it's true. It's true. They say crazy stuff in the public stuff, but with the Patreon, it's even crazier. I was, like, so shocked. And yeah, I mean, I did sub to their Patreon and get the download of the video. I could have gone from someone else, but I felt like, hey, this is what, you know, you're supposed to pay money to get this. I'm gonna pay. I don't know how dedicated that is. I mean, I found out about that clip from someone else again. People just send me clips. Dude, I'm not researching hardcore unless there's, like, you know, a clip that goes around and I look at the full VOD for context, which I'm doing right here. We're looking at the full context here.
that's how you want to spend your $5.
Yes.
Dan,
It
do you
was
feel like
very,
every-
yeah. That's how I spent the 7 Canadian. Look, okay,
Every
yeah.
time you go to-
Wow, you spent $5 on a Patreon podcast where big YouTubers are talking shit about you, so you can clip it and, like, address it. Wow,
Where
what a
there's a
waste
mob
of
of
money.
people
Ooh,
Sure.
like,
yes,
what?
yes. And
Wow,
and
what a loser! Why would you become a Patreon just for that? Wow.
I think it's frustrating.
Dude, I knew the podcast was there when I wasn't like, oh, I'm bored. Let's see if they bitched about me on a Patreon podcast. Let's go through all the Patreon podcasts and look for one where they talk shit about me because I'm bored and I need content. Lol, that wasn't it. I figured out that the clip was from Patreon, but you know.
Because I think
What
the
the
only way
fuck?
out of it and to build, like, a
Like everything she says is so over exaggerated.
community that feels good to, like,
She thinks like we're all in Discord being like, fuck iDubbbz, what's the plan? What's the chart? Dude, see something cringe, we laugh. That's about it.
talk to
I don't know.
is to do it. I think the only way out of it and to build, like, a community that feels good to, like, talk to is to do it, you know, to get up and do it regardless of
Oh, she's talking about building a more positive community.
the mob, and to not think about, like, that aspect. But that is,
She's kind of right and she's kind of wrong. So that's what they're doing with Maximum Damage. They're just trying to, like, low-key ignore, do their own thing or whatever. And that would work if the content was good. But the thing is, a lot of the content on Maximum Damage, and even here, the content you're making now, you're still talking about the past, you're still talking about these things. And if you're trying to build a new audience, you want an audience that is going to be largely detached from that shit, because if you talk about it, they get curious, they watch the videos, and then they'll become aware and maybe change their mind about you or whatever. If you want, like, a fresh fucking start, right? Not like completely fresh because you still want the recognizability of iDubbbz or whatever. I'm sure if you guys want a complete fresh start, you do that already. But you gotta cut yourself off from that past, like, completely. Like, just don't bring it up. Don't make a podcast named She Ruined My Career. People are gonna ask if they find you from your podcast for the first time on Maximum Damage, they're gonna ask, why is it called She Ruined My Career? You talk about your past all the time. So you're not building a new audience, you're just building an audience of people to defend you from your old audience who dislikes you. You're not building a new audience that is just there because you're entertaining. Because you're not entertaining them, you're complaining to them about your past. You're just building a counter army. You're trying to build like a counter army so people can argue on your behalf or something. That's not. Or maybe you legitimately think that this is how you should go about it, but no, like, it needs to be completely separate. She keeps complaining about all this stuff, but the reason it's like this is because of you. And it's not other people's fault that you don't understand how a general person would react to any given thing, you know, or the people like within Ian's community or whatever.
I would love it if Maximum Damage like got a good base that, you know, but you know, not, it's a privilege, it's not a right.
That's actually the first smart thing she said. That's actually true. It is a privilege, not a right, to have an audience online. Also, if you want to build an audience that is different than Ian's old audience, you shouldn't title the podcast She Ruined My Career. Because the type of audience you're trying to foster with that title is iDubbbz haters that you were trying to convert back into fans. Because it's like, oh, it's like sarcastic, but it's like also explaining why the rumors aren't true about their relationship or whatever. They're not doing it properly.
Genuinely, people just don't have any lives. I think it's, yeah, people are just having a hard time. I think the world right now is difficult. And I think there's a lot of angry people that feel like they don't have a lot of control. And they do like look for outlets. And I think hating, for some people, truly hating us is the outlet.
No. I just do it because, number one, you're talking about me. Number two, it's funny and you're crazy. So I can make jokes about it on stream. Number three, you're a YouTuber that people want to hear me talk about. I don't know. Honestly, like, if you didn't talk about me, I don't need, and had these, dude, the only reason that people are reacting to you is because you're talking about this shit. Creator Clash a year later. Like, I could be covering other shit. There's a lot of shit to cover. It's like sad and confusing and weird, also a bit funny, but especially when she gets like later in the stream, she's not really that heated yet, I suppose. But this whole, and she's been blabbing about this for what, like 30 minutes? Like, this is your content. I'm coming back to streaming. I want to build a brand new audience, and I'm just gonna complain about old shit the whole time. It's just so moronic. It's so moronic. Like, I can't even be like too mad at them because they shoot themselves in the foot. I don't need to do jack shit. She made this stream, what, on the 30th of May? And I'm responding 2 days later. I didn't need to immediately respond. You know why? Because you guys make yourselves look bad. I don't need to do jack, bro. I only respond because I'm a fucking drama-loving goon, man.
And I get it.
She is so self-absorbed. I get it. I get people being, that's 100% projection. And yeah, obviously, a lot of people are upset with certain things. But, bro, clearly you're one of those people.
Been following even slightly before you and Ian were openly dating. And you always came off cool. Sucked to see you both get so much shit for essentially no reason. I think the most shocking thing to me was when we became public, like, not even really public. I think we just had our names in each other's, like, Instagram bios. Like, instant hate forums. Instantly. Like, within the day. And I was not ready for that. I think, like, I was talking to my therapist about...
That can't be true. There has to be like some different content. I don't trust Anisa's narrative on that. There's no way that like someone just found out Anisa was dating iDubbbz and immediately made a fucking thread. Or maybe a lot of people already hated Anisa and like a thread was on the cusp of being made and that was like the breaking point. There's no way that she just got hate because she dated iDubbbz. That makes no sense. iDubbbz was loved. If people never heard of Anisa Johma before and their iDubbbz was like, hey, I'm dating this person called Anisa, I don't think there'd immediately be a Kiwi Farmers thread. Doesn't make any sense.
I was heavily...
Ian wasn't even hated at that point.
Isolated at that time. And apparently, like, when you're isolated, like, and you feel like you're being isolated, like, it causes the brain to do weird things. You go into survival mode. And I was isolated in, like, every single, like, definition of that word. Like, I was away from my family in a country I didn't know.
Wasn't she in Canada? Or US? A country I didn't know. Dude, if you've lived in Canada, you know US. If you've lived in US, you know Canada. Basically. Like, at least, like, 80% of each country. Now, obviously, there's differences, but...
saying that I sucked and was not a good pick for Ian. I used to get, I'm not kidding you, I used to get emails to my business email about, like, essays about how I was not a good fit for Ian, and there were better fits, and they had, like, girls that either Ian followed, they would, like, attach their, like, Instagram to it, or, like, it was very fucking weird.
Fuck, she over-exaggerates everything, though. But there are crazies on the internet, so...
I was away from my family, I was mentally and emotionally having a
But that
really
is crazy if that was true.
time at that time. And, I tried to push through online, and it was not working.
As a Kiwi, there wasn't a new form about their relationship. However, I think it was posted on community happenings, which is a board with, like, no... Oh, so it was just, like... just an update, like, hey, this is what's happening. It wasn't, like, a dedicated thread immediately. It was just, like, a post about that news. That makes sense.
I was, like, I don't know, regularly going into the fucking gym and just lying on the floor crying. Like, it was so bad. It sounds like you're struggling. I'm rooting for you. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm struggling a lot less now. I would say I'm pretty good.
Dude, she didn't sound good later in this VOD.
They figured out who owned those accounts through, like, reverse, I don't know, snooping. Wait. And it turned out to be, like, a 16-year-old girl that, like, was an honors student at her, like, school in, like, the middle of America. And her, like, Facebook had, like, Ian playing in the sand from, like, a Joji vlog or something. And she had spent 3 years, under different accounts. She'd make a bunch of stock accounts. She'd make a bunch of different hate accounts. And it was sad. Because it's, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I guess.
So I had quite, like, you know, it was a group. It was a
obsessive... Wait, what?
Dedicated group that seemed a lot louder than it was. And I kind of miss it. Like, it was very uncomfortable and very, like, weird. But I kind of miss it because now, like, it's not like a group that's, like, sectioned to, like, Pretty Little Liars or, like, you know, lolcow or whatever those things. Now it's like you can go on YouTube and if you search, like, my name or Ian's name, it's like a bunch of, like, you know, hate. Like, it sounds really weird, but I didn't understand how good I had it, like, back then, until, like, now, you know. But now, like, you become so numb to it that it really is kind of like, I mean, a lot of it's really crazy.
I feel like that's... Based on how she's talking, I feel like that's her whole life. She's like, she complains about every little thing, and then when it gets worse, she's like, wait, I really shouldn't have complained. Holy shit. She literally acts like, dude, I mean, we saw the clip about her going off about Wendy's and fucking pet store while going to college. Oh my god. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Like, there's a lot of crazy speculation, that, like, is just so... One of them, I remember someone, How To Basic asked Ian, like, is Jake Paul really trying to steal Creator Clash? And Ian was like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what is that? And apparently there was a video that someone made where they were saying that, like...
Yeah, because Ian made a video saying, like, people are gonna steal Creator Clash, and people started guessing.
Jake Paul was trying to steal Creator Clash from us, or was buying it from us, or, like...
That makes sense. If you're gonna say something but don't give the answer, people are gonna speculate. What?
Some weird, like, there's some really strange shit out there. That one was funny, though. How Too Basic. Was he really trying to steal Creator Clash? Huh? I think maybe that speculation comes from our head of boxing operations. We found him and brought him on. He's our business partner. He co-owns Creator Clash with us. Jake Paul's handler, I don't know what to call him, manager, I guess. Nikisa.
Handler? Whoa! You're using fucking detractor language now. What the fuck? Handler?
What really liked what we did and...
Wait, since when do people call people's managers their handler? I mean, it's technically true if you want to insult them. But having a manager, that isn't, like, a super foreign concept to where you have to default to, like, a term like handler because you can't think of it.
Really liked Mike and wanted to bring him on for Jake Paul's boxing career to be a boxing consultant, so now he works for both of us. I don't know. I think that's where it comes from,
yeah.
But...
I think she's more of a fucking commentary shitter than she likes to admit. I bet... in another reality, she would be that 16-year-old girl fucking obsessively hating over iDubbbz. I 100% can see that, man.
Any advice on dealing with the anxiety? Go to open, like, open gym. Because then you can just walk in and, like, hit the bag and kind of, like, people will approach you. The boxing community is very, like, open. They want people to come in. It's very sweet, for the most part. I'm not going to speak for every gym, but... it's weird to me that commentary YouTube people...
That's kind of weird. So, I mean, different strokes for different folks. I don't think it's like bad, you know, to have to get your anger out physically, you know. But it's, you know, it's not surprising. I definitely can understand why, based on how I've seen Anisa react, I can definitely imagine her being fucking frustrated and then going to the gym being like, oh, like going fucking crazy. Someone made a mean tweet about me. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Melting down on the fucking boxing bag.
That just wants to tear down other people. It's upsetting. I mean, I don't want to be like this person, but their videos that do well often have Ian in the thumbnail. So, I mean, I guess there's incentive for it. When people, I think, get sick of it, it will like kind of die down. But until people,
I get why she is saying this as if she like Ian was never a commentary channel. Like, yeah, the person with the most views and recognizability is probably going to be the one most prominently featured on the thumbnail.
will get sick of it, which who knows when that will be. Maybe never, but it is interesting.
What?
And y'all are like my role models. Oh my god.
She's complaining about people being like so theoretically, and maybe there's some people like this, obviously, but like most people in her mind, theoretically, being like super parasocial to Ian and like looking up to him as a role model when he says to say the N-word as a white guy. But then someone says, you're a role model to me now, and she's like, this is awesome! I love that! Oh, but Ian should have never been a role model then. But now, dude, isn't the whole like point that you're trying to make that it's like, don't be parasocial with creators, because if they turn out the way you don't like them to be, you will go fucking nutto and start hating and shit like that? Isn't that the point she's trying to make? And then now she's like, then she is like, oh, it's good that you're my role model. What? I feel like she just did a whole spiel about like why nobody should idolize YouTubers because they turn into like angry haters that become obsessed.
Would Ian do OnlyFans? We've talked about it before.
Would Ian do OnlyFans?
Kind of has. I don't know how much information I can give. Like
how much information you can give. Ooh. Dude, he's already involved. Dude.
Like hand cameo.
Dude, maybe Ian isn't making his money on his main YouTube anymore.
But I don't know, maybe. I've really slowed...
Maybe. Ian shouldn't do OnlyFans purely because I don't want to see his cock posted everywhere on my timeline. The second Ian does OnlyFans, that shit's getting leaked. Everyone's like, LOL, this is the content cop! But fucking posting his dick everywhere. It's gonna happen. That's what happened with Pro Jared. Don't do it. Don't do it just for that reason, please. I don't want to see Ian's cock.
It's so interesting how lurkers, like, if you talk about certain things, like the hate lurkers, they can't help it. They have to, like, come out. It's like pouring salt on pork.
That is true for some viewers. Dude, I don't know how the guy who clipped this found it. The fucking B guy or whatever, he was in chat earlier. Yeah, but Beazle Bumbleman. Dude, I have no idea how he knew that, like, Anisa was live talking about this shit. I guess he just saw Anisa live and he's like, well, I'm just gonna check it out, see if she's going crazy. And she was, maybe. Lucky. I don't know, but...
You can tell who that is. That's, like, a hate watcher that's, like, here to, like, farm... They're like...
Yes, they're there to gather and send it over to me, dude. Send it over to the masters.
And they can't help it. They have to, like, say their stupid, like, one-line things. It's, like, just draws them up.
Dude, I feel like Ian and Anisa have talked about me or commentary in general, like, so much more than I've seen, though. Because I only checked one Patreon podcast, and then, like, here or there, and, like, a couple public podcasts of theirs, which they have, like, I think, like, 30 or 40 episodes now. I think I've only, like, clicked on, like, 5 different ones total. So, I don't know, dude. I feel like there could be, like, a lot of shit that we're just not seeing that they've said. I mean, literally, like, how old was... I think the Patreon podcast was 2 weeks old when we found it. So how is she saying, like, oh, they get it. Whenever I talk about anything, everyone's going to clip it and bring it up. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But with the Patreon podcast, you got away with that for, like, 2 weeks. And I'm sure there's a lot of other clips you get away with. Because I know for a fact no commentator besides, like, me checks your podcast. And I only do, like, on these streams, as I said. Like, I've only checked the podcast, like, a couple of times, like 5 or so times. Nick didn't even know Maximum Damage was a channel until, like... I think 2 weeks ago or something like that, when the Bog Patreon podcast happened, that he didn't even know there was like a normal non-Patreon podcast. And a lot of other people didn't know either. A lot of people found out because I told them about it. I'm like, have you seen like iDubbbz's new fucking podcast, She Ruined My Career? Like, that's how they find out.
They're foaming at the mouth. Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, we're all foaming at the mouth, dude. We're all waiting for the next She Ruined My Career podcast so we can watch it at 2 times speed and clip out all the... Dude. If that was the case, if people were actually doing that and cared that much, there would be way more fucking coverage about this shit. I just think, like, no one fucking bothers to check, bro. You're just uploading so much boring shit. It's just like how no one checks the fucking retarded tipster moments and tipster streams besides me, because I'm insane. They talk about you and Keem a lot on iDubbbz streams. Well, Beezle Bumbleman is the one who ended up getting the clips of the stream, so maybe he'll know. Maybe you're right, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But then if I'm not seeing everything that they're saying, then I'm not, like, looking... Then clearly I'm not, like, looking in the way that she's suggesting. Like, oh, or even anybody else getting all these little clips. Because if they spread around, I would have seen them.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on in there. I learned that about... I think that's just the way it is. When you feel like you don't have a lot of control in your life, which, to be honest, like, how many of us feel like we have control in our lives right now? We're in a very, like, chaotic time. You do things to try and get control, and for some people...
You're projecting. You think I'm trying to... Dude, you think me or anybody else is trying to get control by... You just do stupid shit! And we left... You literally bragged about this charity event. If you don't fucking donate... If you boycott fucking Creator Clash because of Froggy Fresh, you're not donating to charity, whatever. Do this for charity, do this for charity. All the people who did end up going, like, paying for Creator Clash to help charities, their money didn't go to charity. Because you fucked up. That is worth talking about. Like, 100%. That's worth talking about. No, we're just looking to get control back. What? What am I trying to get control back from by criticizing Creator Clash and their poor marketing and financials? Like, maybe if I wasn't a full-time YouTuber and doing this shit, some of these arguments would have, like, a tiny bit of credibility or point to him, but, like, the reason I make YouTube videos on these YouTubers, besides the fact that I want to, is quite obvious.
Move the humanity from the person, and they, like, look at the online projection, and then they, like, take what they want.
Yeah, because that's what we're criticizing. What I'm criticizing, like, what's being shown online. Again, I'm not doing this weird parasocial shit trying to, like, look into... Well, sometimes I say stuff on my stream or whatever, but not definitively saying, like, in a YouTube video, well, this is what Ian thinks, so this is what's happening, you know? I'm very... Like, what? Like, sorry that, like, we don't... Yeah, I don't know the guy personally, so I'm not gonna have any emotional qualms with criticizing him like I would with someone I do know. That, yeah, okay? Is that evil? Is that demonic? Oh my god, dude, I'm not going soft because Ian's a poor widow boy who's nice. Like, what?
And they, like, look at the online projection, and then they, like, take what they want from it to, like, confirm. Like, it is really interesting. Some people really, like, when they comment on stuff in, like, on my socials and stuff, like, they truly hate me. They truly hate me, or they truly hate Ian. And to get to that point, like, I would argue that, like, the hate is so visceral, it's, like, past any in real life person that they know.
For me, that's not true. Well, I don't, like, hate Ian, but, like, let's say, when was the time I disliked Ian the most? That's when I think when he uploaded the Froggy Fresh video, calling Froggy Fresh all those things he wasn't, that's when I was most pissed at Ian, and that doesn't even come, like, 10% close to the person I've hated the most in real life. Are you kidding me? This is actually an interesting thought experiment. How does the person I've gone mad at the most on the internet compare to the person I'm mad at the most in real life? Out of any period in my life. I don't know. There's probably a time where I hated someone maybe like 30 or 40% as much as...
So it became a shakedown because He knew that he didn't have a part of the business. He knew it. But the threat of
I'm letting her say this so she can explain why she's upset. Because she's upset that, like, my video was referenced in the legal case that this idiot did against them, if what they're saying is true.
that fucker doesn't have any money anymore, okay? Because he's made bad business decisions. We found out after the fact. So he was hoping that, if we were basically playing chicken of like, fine, fucking like, so we were going back and forth for like months of like, fine, take us to fucking court. Because if we would have went to court, he would have lost, but we would have been out money. So basically what he was hoping for was that we were going to pay him to go away. So it was a shakedown. It was a frivolous lawsuit. His lawyer, not our lawyer, there's like this commentary, fucking so annoying. This commentary YouTuber, like, I don't know if he can't like listen or...
Now she's talking about me. So let me share my tweet showing this. I haven't seen this yet. Dude, I'm annoyed. I don't know if this commentary YouTuber can... Dude. Talking to me. I swear if she brings up autism, I'm gonna lose it. This is my first reaction to it. So, ooh, it was Beazle again. Putting it in here. I'm like, they're mad that my video caused their lawyer to double check the back end of their charity event. Lamau, I now know why Anisa lied about my video on HG Podcast. Thanks for walking it back and saying I put bad implications instead of my video. And then I said, okay, so this was on at 4:28 p.m. And then literally less than an hour later, because I only saw the clip, and then once I actually got the VOD, I looked at it and I was like, correction, this clip came from a Patreon episode, so I subbed to their Patreon and checked full context, and they're talking about someone else's lawyer using my video to try and steal Creator Clash from them, not their lawyer asking to double check backend. So I understood, like, once I got the full context, I understood what they were talking about. But I guess here she's gonna act like I'm retarded or something. Well, obviously I didn't know because it was a clip, and then I looked at the full thing. Dude, but okay, let's listen.
We wanted to do something fun and cool and good for charity and whatever. It is a very expensive event to run. There was like this commentary, fucking so annoying. This commentary YouTuber, like, I don't know if he can't like listen or like what's wrong with his brain, but we explained this in the Patreon.
What's wrong with my brain? What? Dude, everybody else thought that too. I didn't get any comments being like, oh, this is what they actually meant or whatever. I like went and looked at it myself, like with this clip, like it sounded like you were just talking about your lawyer. I didn't have the extra context until, because you have it behind a Patreon podcast. Oh, it's my brain. My brain's broken because I didn't fucking, like what?
Podcast. This person's lawyer, the Shakedown lawyer.
Yes.
Used a commentary video.
Yes.
Okay? That insinuated.
No.
I have to be very careful with my words here because this person will say technically they didn't say that. Insinuated.
It's not technically. That wasn't even the intention to insinuate anything other than what I was saying directly in the video. And I showed everything I was saying directly in the video. There's no insinuation in the video. I'm very clear with everything I say and show.
That we pocketed
Where's
money.
the evidence? Yeah, literally. It never even came into my mind that, like, okay, so the insinuation is that, which was true, and it was a speculation based on the facts that I showed that we had at the time, is that Creator Clash was paying fighters before paying the charity, which is not what you implied to the audience. A lot of people, at that point didn't actually know that fact. They only found out after you lost all that money. So I was just trying to clear that up because people were literally saying, if you don't go to Creator Clash, you're taking money directly out of charity. And the way that the event is set up, that's not the case. You're not even making money for charity until you break even because you are paying the fighters. And that is what I showed in the video. So I guess it could have implied that, like, since Ian's one of the fighters, he could have taken his fighter cut without giving it to charity. I guess that could be like a conclusion you come to in the video, but I never even like mentioned that. That's the only implication that could possibly come out of that video, to where you say they're pocketing money. And even that, like, pocketing money wouldn't even be like an accurate statement, because you would just be paying himself the same he paid as any other fighter. I don't really think that would have changed anything. I don't know, but apparently, I mean, the video's up. You guys can watch it. Every time I respond to this, like a million times, she's been saying this for like a year. I've already made a response video a year ago. I made, the original video. You can check it out and judge for yourself. If there is something wrong, if I did insinuate something and they can prove it, then I will engage with the conversation. Until then, they're just pulling shit out of their ass because I have no idea what they mean.
Insinuated that we didn't actually lose money, okay? Insinuated that it only cost...
Didn't actually lose. I never said that no one didn't lose money. And also, insinuated that they never lost money. The video she's complaining about was uploaded before Creator Clash 2 happened. You didn't even know the event lost money, let alone announced it to anybody. I never said that the event didn't lose money. I was talking about Creator Clash 1, which clearly you sent over $1 million to charity from Creator Clash 1. The video was talking about Creator Clash 1, and I guess guessing that it's going to be run the same for Creator Clash 2 in terms of the behind-the-scenes finances. With the fighter pay, which was pretty much true. Like, they're getting a cut, and only when they exceed the profit margin will they donate to charity. That's the same as it was in Creator Clash 1 and 2. So I was just using Creator Clash 1 to speculate on stuff with Creator Clash 2. It's basically to prove that the fighters were getting paid. The exact numbers are more so to just, like, prove the point. Because there are the numbers and evidence out there. Like, I didn't just pull this out of my ass. There's evidence. So obviously numbers are going to come into it. But
It's $100,000 to run an event like this, which is not true, okay? This is in the millions. This event costs in the millions to run.
in the video, well, let me go to the video. I'm gonna go to the video. I know people have watched it a million times, but fuck it, dude. We're going in depth. We're addressing everything. In order to like do the proper math to prove that like a portion of the revenue was going to fighters, I had to like show, you know, how much Creator Clash made based on Creator Clash 1 made based on what we know, and then how much they donated to charity. The event, I speculated based on numbers that were shown, made $3 million. They donated 1.7 to charity. That would make it so there's 1.3 left. So in total, that was, you know, used amongst the fighters and the event costs. So I was guessing on the event costs in order to get an estimate on what the fighters were making. That was the point of me bringing that up. But she is like acting like I'm just lying because I used a speculative number to come to a conclusion that was true. So let's play that part of the video. So how did I come to this number? Well, an MMA/boxing writer, Donna Corby, last year tweeted out that the first Creator Clash sold at least 100k pay-per-view. This is an account that is followed by iDubbbz, and the tweet talking about the amount of pay-per-view sales was liked by iDubbbz's opponent in the last Creator Clash, Dr. Mike. Not 100% solid confirmation that this number is accurate, but pretty damn close. Now, I actually went to the Creator Clash in person last year, and the tickets cost about 55 Canadian dollars for me. I'm talking about Creator Clash 1 here, because, you know, this video was made in 2023. Obviously, if you convert that to USD, that would be maybe closer to $40. Also, I'm pretty sure the tickets are more expensive than the pay-per-view. And there's early bird sales that cost a little less. So let's just round it to 30 USD. I think that's a pretty accurate amount for all of the potential variations. So by doing simple math, we can times 30 by 100,000 and come out with an amount of $3 million. Now, if you were paying attention earlier in the video to when I showed the trailer for Creator Clash, iDubbbz showed a tweet where Creator Clash announced that they raised $1.3 million. See, like, I'm showing proof. It's not coming out of nowhere. Charity. And with the total proceeds of Creator Clash 1 being at least $3 million, that means that the leftover amount that they paid for operational costs and the fighters is approximately $1.7 million. And again, this number is on the lower side, as we know over 100,000 pay-per-views were sold. We just don't know the exact amount, so this is the lowball minimum estimate. Now, obviously, that amount is also going to operational costs, not just the fighters, but I can't imagine those extra operational costs being that much, considering that Creator Clash 1 was held in Yulang Center, which had a capacity of 10k, and a venue like that would probably cost maybe 20k to rent out for the night, potentially more. Even so, this is what she was actually mocking in the tweet, or the guy was mocking that she responded to, right? The whole commentary community defends is literally based off Google searching how much to rent a big arena. I don't know why they decided to die on that hill. They won't admit that you were did. I looked up generally how much it would be to rent out the specific center from Creator Clash 1. And then listen to what I do after, because I don't just do these costs, because I was like, okay, that's rather low. Like, really? It was just 20k besides paying the fighters? No way. So listen to this. And a venue like that would probably cost maybe 20k to rent out for the night, potentially more, even if we round it all the way up to 100k in operation. So costs, and then stack up another 100k for hiring the commentators or the announcer. So I literally make the prediction that it was like 200k in order to like just try to get an average number on what the fighters might be making based on how much the event sold. Announcer or security or anything else other than the fighters. That still leaves that tweet didn't age well personified. That tweet was literally made like earlier today, bro. 1.5 million to split. And this video was made a year ago. It fucking aged poorly the second it came out. The 24 fighters, meaning that each fighter is personally making within the ballpark of $60,000. That is just for them and not going to charity at all, which sounds quite a bit different than the image iDubbbz showed in his latest Creator Clash 2 video, where he tries to brag that his event is better than other influencer boxing events because all of the profit goes to charity, when that's not the case. All of the profit goes to charity and to the fighters who get paid to be in your charity boxing event. I don't know how iDubbbz and the rest of the Creator Clash. So yeah, that's basically like the math of it. And then earlier in the video, basically the reason I made this video is because Alana Pierce was saying Froggy Fresh was taking money directly out of charity, when based on how the event works, that doesn't even make any sense. So I was literally defending someone. So like Anisa's acting like, oh, people are waiting for iDubbbz to stumble so they can like backstab it. No, this was literally like some big creator in Creator Clash is lying about Froggy Fresh taking money away from the charity. So I made a video that responded to it. And this is the video she's mad at. That's the video she's mad at. Keep that in mind as we continue to watch that.
Not kidding. It's fucked up. Okay? And that all is our responsibility. We took that on because we wanted to do something fun and cool and good for charity and whatever.
Creator Clash 2 wasn't good for charity. I can tell you that.
Expensive event to run. There's a lot that goes on, okay? It's a huge...
Yeah, I don't doubt it. That's why I added an extra 100K on my speculation of 100K, because it seems like way too low and I know nothing about, like, you know, how much it actually costs to do all this shit. And if she's talking about Creator Clash 2, well, yeah, there's like the galas and all these other extra expenses. And obviously, what did they rent out for Creator Clash 2? Was it like the Staples Center or something? It was like something like way bigger than the Yulang Center, right? I think it like was double capacity, way more prestigious, well-known stadium, even though I can't remember the name. But that would have bumped up the cost too. So yeah, obviously, if my speculation numbers were based on Creator Clash 2, those numbers would be too low. I was talking about Creator Clash 1. You fucking, like, listen! You talk about me not listening to a fucking clip that didn't even have full context. And then when I did, I, like, made a correction of my own volition, like, less than an hour later. But you can't even fucking listen to a video that's been out for a year, that's 11 minutes, that you've been complaining about non-stop for a year on your own socials. Watch my video again and listen to what I say. You know, I can give you benefit of the doubt, like, oh, you know, the way you found out about the video was through this stupid lawyer using it in a way that it wasn't intended for, and basically trying to make claims that I didn't make in the video or whatever, right? So you had like a bad kind of first impression going into even seeing what the video was about, right? And obviously you know all the numbers, so you can be like, ah, that's ridiculous, because you know, and we didn't know at the time. But seriously, think about the public knowledge that was available at the time, what I'm saying in the video, why I'm saying it, and actually like think and pay attention, and then come back to me with specific critiques, and I will be more than willing to give L's or concede or get owned on any points that you may want to have against me. So if you really want to have this fucking discussion about the video on one of your streams, fucking go through my video, review it, point out all the bad parts. You know, someone will clip it, send it to me, I can review it back here. Don't even have to talk directly with each other, because I know you're probably going to be uncomfortable, scared of that. So, yeah, I mean, I've said what I said in the video. If it's such a big problem, this fucking video, then let's figure out what the problem is. Because what you're saying so far makes no sense.
Huge thing. It's a 20,000 seat arena. Anyway.
20,000 seat. Yeah, it's 20,000 seats for the Creator Clash 2 venue. Wait. I literally put the amount of seats on the screen. This is not 20,000, this is 10K. Wait, what? Wait, Anisa, did you watch the video you're critiquing? Wait.
It is a very expensive event to run. There's a lot that goes on, okay? It's a huge thing. It's a 20,000 seat arena.
20,000 seats?
Anyway,
20,000 seats for Yulang Center? Yeah, you're literally like getting the fucking... Dude, you're literally getting your own events confused. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just spurging. You're mad for no... This is how I know she's, like, just spurging. Because she doesn't even get any facts of the video right.
The lawyer used the YouTube video to say that this was proof that we were pocketing money.
And that's retarded if they did that. Not my fault. So they're blaming me that he thought that... dude, the way you're describing this guy... Clearly, he was looking for any excuse to sue you. So obviously he's gonna fucking take a YouTube video and put implications on it that aren't there to validate his bullshit case, because that's the most he can fucking do. It's not my fault for having bad implications. Your guy who put dumb implications onto my video did that in order to screw you over, because he's being bullshit in the first place with the whole, like, owning Creator Clash thing. You don't think he's gonna be bullshit with his interpretation of my video to use illegally against you? Oh yeah, this guy's like a complete liar douchebag on everything, but he was right about the Bowblax video. Are you fucking retarded?
That I was making with that clip that got taken out of context again, or like he just didn't understand what I was saying, is that...
And you don't understand what I'm saying in this video. Play it, please play it on stream and review it.
We were in a shakedown lawsuit, and part of the reason why they thought that they could bark up our tree
understand.
was because commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job.
Wait, see that? No, she's raging! Look at this! I mean, hypocritical because I just did that. But dude, look! What the fuck? You have no idea what to do. This is where the real rage comes in. Get mad at the fucking weird lawyer that, like, guy who's fucking coming after you. Not me, what do you mean? Oh, it's because these commentators don't know how to make videos. Fucking watch the video and actually know what the fuck you're talking about before you fucking go fucking full on chimp mode like a fucking chimpanzee crazy hyena fucking motherfucker. Like, goddamn, holy shit. Like, oh my god, dude.
The reason why they thought that they could bark up our tree was because commentary YouTube...
The reason they thought they could bark up... Wait. So she's talking about the lawyer here, right? Or the weird guy who's trying to steal Creator Clash and his lawyer?
So the point that I was making with that clip that got taken out of context again, or like he just didn't understand what I was saying, is that we were in a shakedown lawsuit, and part of the reason why they thought that they could bark up our tree...
Oh, so you're talking about them, okay.
...was because commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job.
That literally makes no sense. Can we analyze that fucking sentence right there, like, word for word? Like, wait. Like, not even talking about, like, her, like, misspeaking or whatever, but, like, the general concept of what she's trying to portray with her words right now. So she's saying that the dumbass and his lawyer thought that they could sue Anisa and Ian because of my YouTube video. And the reason my YouTube video exists is because I don't know how to work a real job and I know nothing about this Creator Clash shit. Maybe he wanted money because of his failed business ventures and tried to do a bullshit lawsuit on you and just found a video to maybe have some confirmation bias against you and what he thought he could, like, use against you. He probably searched the internet for, like, any point that he could use against you, and mine was, like, the closest he could do, plus, like, an implication that it's saying something that it isn't. Like, is it really, like, it's such common sense, the way you're even describing it. It's, like, common sense. Like, no hate towards you, no bias towards Anisa or iDubbbz or anything. But if you just have someone tell you, regardless of who it is, we're getting in a bullshit lawsuit, blah, 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 and people took the wrong message out of a YouTube video in order to, you know, try to own us because of all, you know, all that she said in this podcast. You would be like, clearly they're describing the YouTube video in bad faith in order to, you know, strengthen their legal case. He literally met with them for Creator Clash. This isn't a random person. It's not like someone who's like, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Oh, Bowblax video, listens to it. Oh my god, I can sue Ian and Anisa. Like, no, I'm pretty sure he wanted to sue, and then he used my videos, and that's the only thing that makes sense based on what you're saying. But you're not even understanding your own words. That's why she needs help. She does genuinely need help, because the, like, trains of logic she's connecting in her brain just do not make any sense.
Let alone put on a whole event, okay? You have no clue. You don't even know what it's like to clock in and have someone breathe down your neck. So don't tell me how much it costs. $100,000.
I wasn't telling you the video. Obviously, you know all of this. The problem is you're not disclosing important information that people need to know. Therefore, they're, like, fucking paying for Creator Clash 2 under the assumption that their money's guaranteed going to charity instead of only if they break even, which was not which was like not properly explained.
Dollars does not even cost.
If it was properly explained, this video would have flopped. It would have like billions of dislikes. But everybody was like, holy shit, I thought it was all going to charity, because that's what you made it sound like. And I demonstrate that in this video.
$100,000 does not even cost 1/4.
Number one, I said 200K. If you fucking listened! Dude, holy shit, why does she keep saying I said 100K? I said 200K. That's probably still too low. I mean, the point of even bringing it, dude, I showed the video already. But like, it is so frustrating to see her perception of my video was just so fundamentally flawed that any argument she's gonna attempt to make is just moronic inherently. And also she's equating it to how much Creator Clash 2 cost. Because this dumbass is trying to sue them for like Creator Clash 2 when my video is talking about finances of Creator Clash 1. Unless he was trying to sue for Creator Clash 1. I don't know, but based on what Anisa's saying, it seems like it was Creator Clash 2.
What crack these like commentary YouTubers are on.
I don't know what crack you're on to think that everything in your head is known to the fucking public, dude. You're like, well, obviously it was this way or that way. You didn't say jack fucking shit.
I don't care. I don't care anymore. Because
you don't care? Then why are you talking about it? I don't fucking care either. That video was uploaded a year ago. Creator Clash was a fucking year ago. Yeah, it's sad that the kids with cancer didn't get that much money. But iDubbbz kind of made up for it in the fucking live stream. I don't know. You don't care, but you're bringing it up of your own volition. I didn't say shit. Even
when we don't say something, they think we're saying something.
No, literally no. What? No. What? You're literally describing yourself. This is so projection. This is like the most projection I've
Do you know what I mean?
Bro.
Oh,
Dude.
thanks, guys.
How's she like this unself-aware, bro?
Yeah, they're gonna assume shit, so I'm so over it.
You assume shit about this? It's an 11-minute video.
Like, and I'm over them crying. They cry like they're the victims. Bro, you like made a video like with all these weird out-of-pocket assumptions.
Any assumptions made were very clearly stated as to why, so that wouldn't be out of pocket. If you explain why it's not out of pocket, we could play the whole video. I mean, I already played a section of it, but like, Anisa, watch the video and point to where it is. It's just, how can I argue against stuff that isn't real?
Like, just so out of pocket. I don't know. I know a lot of them have never.
She's definitely on something while doing this. Thank you for the 5.
Or worked a real job. I know that for a fact. And if
you know that for a fact, oh wow, now you're making definitive statements. Like, yeah, obviously I know she's being like hyperbolic there, but like she would do the same thing to me if I say something like hyperbolic. Oh, whoa!
If you have, you worked there for a week and you cried and you quit.
Cry, dude. Who? What? Cried? That's, dude. This feels like something that happened to her. Wait, is it typical to work a week somewhere then quit because you're crying? Maybe if you're like trying to start a job right after like your mom dies or something. But like, what? Cry? What? Why cry? Maybe like being lazy or getting fed up with the job or going late, like. But cry? What? Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you probably don't get pussy, you're an incel, you probably haven't worked a good job, whatever. And I'm not offended, by the way, I'm just pointing this out. But like, it's another to act like a person who wouldn't be able to hold down a job is because they cry. I feel like the #1 reason someone wouldn't hold down a job is because they're like a lazy piece of shit, they're like rude, fucking late, fucking like a bunch of other things before cry. Is that how you lost all your jobs? Crying? That's what I feel like when she says that. I feel like she's projecting her own experience. Like, the only time I've lost jobs is when I fucking bawl my eyes out.
That's the
I mean, she literally talked about crying on the floor, like, in the gym or whatever when she was isolated during COVID, so.
Other thing that a lot of these people assume is that I never worked a real job, but I didn't get on the internet until I was
Dude, I feel like people who are just like, Anisa, you've never worked a real job, are just like trying to fucking shit talk. This isn't an exclusive problem to Anisa, but Anisa legitimately can't see the difference between shitters trying to rile her up and legitimate criticism. She just cannot tell the difference.
I had to pay for my own I was in college working like a fucking serving job, okay?
Okay.
I was doing both. I had 4 to 5 classes a semester, and then I would go work a serving job, okay?
Okay, I mean, that's a lot to put on your plate, and it's going to take up most of your time. You're not going to have much free time, but that is a scenario a lot of people are in and can deal with. It's not the most abnormal, crazy scenario you just brought up, where it's like, I'm a single mom, I'm working 5 jobs, I can barely see my kids, I'm trying to hold a relationship with them, but, you know, we're so poor, I need to work so many jobs, the economy's shit, they fucking love my babysitter more than they love me at this point. I'm like, it's fucking depressing. Like, there's so many, like, I feel like that is the scenario that would warrant a reaction like this.
Before that, I worked at a pet store. And
okay, wait, is that supposed to be impressive? A pet store! A fucking pet store, dude! I had to deal with hamsters, fish, dogs, cats. That was crazy, a lot of work. A pet store, not just McDonald's. Not your fucking typical minimum wage first job. A fucking pet store. You had more responsibility. This isn't like working at Toys R Us. The animals actually move, they eat, we have to feed them, we have to take care of them. Dude, I learned being a pet store, being a fucking employee at a pet store, that's the fucking most prestigious thing ever, dude. Yeah, you know what? She's right. I don't have experience dealing with animals. So, $10 from Mike the Bike. I've been working a normal job for 12 years while trying to be in a band, do YouTube, and finish college. But she's right. I have no clue what it's like to work at Dairy Queen. Thank you, Mike the Bike. But you're just a lying incel who has never held down a real job and instantly cries when they're asked to do something at work. Dude, I feel like Anisa literally got fired because she cried a week in at working at like PetSmart or like Dairy Queen.
The Dairy Queen. Because I function.
Dude. I function in society. This is Anisa's resume, guys. This is Anisa functioning in society. Wait, this is Anisa's resume. I worked at a movie theater. I worked at DQ. I worked at pet store. And I worked doing OnlyFans. So clearly, it's time to run multi-million-dollar fucking events. Let's go!
And then I got lucky, right? I got lucky, and I started making money on the internet, so I quit.
Wait, whoa. She's a functioning member of society, but then she got lucky and was able to quit her jobs and work online and retract from the world. But if you could function in society, why would it be lucky to be able to retreat from society and not try and function in it anymore? I thought you could function in society. I thought you didn't cry a week into doing a job. I thought you could hold down a real job. Then why would it be lucky to not have that real job anymore? Frank Zappa, $5. Bro, I'm a lawyer and I did 16 creds in law school while keeping full-time job. It's not nearly this miserable. Yeah, like it's hard. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park when you have so much on your plate, regardless of what it is. You know, the more free time you have, the easier your life is generally. But this reaction's not warranted.
But I've been working.
She's a fucking professional victim, bro.
I had been working since I was like 12. No, I'm not even kidding. 12 years old. Because in Canada at the time, I don't know if now, but at the time, I worked at a movie theater when I was a kid. But you fuckers that are looking at this right now, I know that you would fucking cry if I said something to you in real life.
Pull up. I said earlier, pull up, like, because I'm going to be in LA next month. But she doesn't live in LA anymore. She lives in Seattle, which is actually closer to, where I'm at. But she could, go up to the Canadian border and drive to my house pretty easily. So, you know what? Anisa, hit me up, dude. My place is open. My doors are open if you want to talk, spend the night, talk about why my video's bad and all that. Vent about your husband or whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what? I'm a nice guy. I'll let you come in.
I know you would cry. How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers in real life.
And you'll be the one crying when you fucking leave, dude.
And you have cried. You cried and apologized to me. And you even said that I made you feel like a bitch they felt like a little bitch. It's because they r/were one. It's like that was that one was crazy to me. Ian put that clip at the end of the Froggy Fresh video, but that one, like, that pissed me off, dude. That one, Ian keeps me.
So she's talking about the Rusty Cage confrontation that we talked about 2 hours ago at the beginning of the stream, where he made a tweet showing like the Froggy Fresh sign, like free Froggy Fresh shown at Creator Clash 2, tweeted out, kind of went viral. She went up to Rusty Cage. You didn't mean tweet. He's like, sorry. Then he said he felt like a bitch for saying sorry afterward. But that's him crying, I guess. Rusty Cage. Can you imagine Rusty Cage crying to Anisa Johma? Oh my god, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Fuck. Oh my god, I got caught with the tweeting of Froggy Fresh. Fuck. Okay, I gotta go. Oh, that was scary. Never put me in front of Anisa again. Oh my god, like talking to his friend walking away. Dude, really? You think that's what? Okay.
This is the truth, okay?
You need mental help.
Okay, Ian keeps me on a leash. Okay?
On a leash? No, more like you keep him on a leash. I saw you walking now. I saw you fucking walking past. No, this is getting really parasocial. I saw, in 2022, I saw you walking past the fucking, what was it? Amazon Prime and Instagram party leaving, dude. And iDubbbz was following you like a little lost pup, dude. You were in front being like, and Ian was like, oh, like following behind. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. It was only a second I saw it. But yeah, well, maybe he does got you on a leash because you do walk in front of him. So he's carrying the leash and then you're in front. So maybe it is that way.
I'm okay with that because I need
Regardless, you're the one leading the way.
to be on a leash. I need to be on a leash, a tight leash.
This is like the second thing that she said that made sense in this stream.
To be honest, because I am unhinged. I will just say shit.
And it's unhinged in a sad way too, not even a funny way. Like sometimes I go unhinged for comedic effect, but like it's in a sad way.
So we're at the party after the boxing event, where like it's meant for everybody to like celebrate each other and what we did, and you know, we did karaoke and whatever. There's alcohol there, and
so it wasn't the gala, it was one of the other parties. That's something I didn't even know until this more recent round of Creator Clash drama through them bringing it up on the Patreon podcast again. I thought it was one expensive gala party with like the super expensive comedian that was like 20K or whatever, and the whole party, like that was the cost sunk that caused them to go under with profits. But apparently there was other parties, like 3 others. This was one of them.
Close friends are allowed at this party. It's in a hotel. Okay? And this fucker snuck in.
I mean, if a bunch of content creator friends are going into a content creator boxing party for Creator Clash, and Rusty Cage is a creator, and he might be friends with some people on the cards, I'm not sure, or whatever, or someone is friends with someone on the card who's friends with Rusty. Like, it's not like a random fan sneaking in. I don't know, dude. Seems a little, I mean, I guess if you didn't want him there, he did sneak in, but still, I don't know. Why wouldn't Rusty Cage be allowed? Seems kind of random. It seems like he fits the bill of the general type of people that would be, like, the people that would be there, like content creators, friends with content creators.
He was not supposed to get in. The reason why he got in was because he happened to say, by accident, the name of one of our, like, higher-ups.
Wait, if he said it by accident and got in, then maybe he got in, but he didn't know he was sneaking in. He thought he was allowed in because they let him in when he mentioned that guy's name.
And I saw...
Yeah, there are people who weren't fighting in the event in the parties. Yeah, like friends of creators. And Rusty Cage is a content creator who's been on the platform for a long time and has a bunch of content creator friends. There's probably like friends or friends of friends or whatever that are involved in Creator Clash invited to the party, and he came along. That's probably what happened. Or something along those lines. And yeah, then the security's garbage. So you spent money on security that could have went to like cancer kids and they didn't even do their job, bro.
On Twitter the day before that he was tweeting shit.
It was even the day before, so she was thinking about that Froggy Fresh tweet that Rusty Cage made an entire day, dude, rent free.
He was doing that thing where you don't like fully commit to being a fuck, but like enough of a fuck that like he basically wore like a free Froggy Fresh shirt or like held the sign or something. I think it was he had a Krispy Kreme shirt on or some shit, and he was like,
Really?
there was like a free Froggy Fresh sign that like made it to the front of the like walkout of Ian's walkout, and he like tweeted the.
I like how she started the sentence as if he was the one with the sign, and then she corrected it later too. It being, you know, him taking a picture of someone with the sign, just automatically in her head trying to make it as egregious as possible, and then having to reel it back to align with the truth.
Picture. No, it wasn't Brandon Buckingham. It was fucking.
And it wouldn't even be that egregious if he was the one holding up the sign, just like in her mind, you know.
I always call him Rusty Spoon, but I think his name's Rusty Cage. He was snuck into the party. Okay, so Ian wasn't around. Much like right now, which is why I'm doing this right now. Ian wasn't around. He was somewhere.
Well, I'm doing this right now. So Ian is putting her on a leash, trying to like make her not say stupid shit online, but then she always just ends up doing it.
Else. And I saw that fucker. I saw him waiting in line for free alcohol, and I was like, absolutely not.
Oh, that's a triggered moment.
Isn't that the guy who made a tweet that I didn't like a day ago? Oh my god, he tweeted out Froggy Fresh even though Froggy Fresh is not supposed to be. Oh my god, we cannot let him having free alcohol.
He is not fucking benefiting from the money that is not going to kids and going to this party instead. Fuck that guy. Really? That's the guy, dude, that's the guy who made a mean tweet about me. Maybe that would be something you'd mention passing in conversation, like, hey, that tweet was pretty cringe, bro. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, whatever. I don't know, but like the whole, like, that's Rusty Cage. Oh my god, he's not, he made fun of. He's pro Froggy Fresh. Get him out! Security! You've been officially banned from all Creator Clash lists. Let's get him on the flight lists. No Rusty Cage at Creator Clash. Like, fuck off, dude. This is so like cringe.
Absolutely not. So I fucking walked over there, and bro's like little. Okay, he's already like a small guy, and I had platforms on, so I was real big that day. And I walked over. And I just put my hand on his shoulder, right? I leaned over and I said, hey man, what you did yesterday, really fucking uncool, actually. And he was like, like he was shocked, right? And he even admits this. He admits that he apologized to me. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And I was like, no, you meant it. And it was shitty. And
I doubt he said I didn't mean it. It was probably just like, what? Oh, I guess sorry. I don't know. I don't know the context, but based on the way that Rusty has described the story, and then the way she over-exaggerates literally every story she talks about. She over-exaggerates my video, everything. So everything I know for a fact that she's over-exaggerating, I'm just going to assume for every other scenario that she is over-exaggerating, even though I don't definitively know if Rusty Cage was acting this way. That's just what I feel like based on, you know, what he's saying, and I can't take Anisa's words seriously because she over-exaggerates literally everything.
I fucking walked away. I just walked away. I was like, whatever, you can fucking stay at the party, but I want you to know that I think you're a fucking dick. And it clearly, it clearly got to him, because he ended up in like some interview later saying that it made him feel like a bitch.
Yeah, I mentioned casually at the end of a video, because it was interesting, because you're like the person who runs the event, and it was a video about the whole event, and at the end, like as a, oh, this happened. That was interesting. Something to bring up. So he was, yeah, I guess he was thinking about it, but even if he was the most triggered, are we really gonna have Anisa here being like, oh my god, he was thinking about Dayside? You're thinking about my video on Creator Clash a year later. You thought about Rusty Cage's tweet that pissed you off a day later and specifically confronted him about it and like cursed him out because it was living rent free in your head. It's not like the tweet just happened and you're like, ah, fuck you, asshole. You're right there making that tweet. No, it was a day ago. How are you going to be like, oh my god, it's rent-free, he's complaining about it later, oh my god, he cried, it really got to him. Dude, everything gets to you. The projection is insane. How are you not self-aware enough to know that this is like so project? I guess you were at the end because you deleted the VOD, but still, holy shit.
Why would you admit that?
And then you say something's wrong with my brain, bro.
I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, so that's why I need to be on a leash. Because I need to be, right?
You're too powerful, dude. You make Rusty Cage cry.
That's the truth of it.
She's so she needs to just, she's just not in reality. That's just the sad part about it. Like, some people are dumb, but at least her head is in reality. Her head's not even in reality. That's why I can't even get like too mad at her dumbassery. I mean, she did put it on herself, but like, she's just so fundamentally, like, the way she thinks is just so fundamentally disconnected with reality that these arguments probably in her head are not as ludicrous to her as they are to us, clearly, because of that disillusion with what's actually going on around her. So, like, when I say, like, oh my god, how can she say that? Like, I kind of get why. So I kind of have pity, I guess, in that way. But just because I understand doesn't mean I fully pity or empathize, dude. Like, get your mind into reconnect yourself with the reality if you ever were in the first place. Like, please.
So mad though. Like you are. Why are you drinking our alcohol?
Your alcohol, dude. That's alcohol money that should have been used towards the cancer kids. How can you act like that, dude? How can you say that after you know that those parties were the reason kids with cancer didn't get their money? How can
At least
you
he had
say
the shame
that?
to admit that he was being a bitch. Yeah, that's true.
Are you like that unself-aware?
No, yeah, it was.
The
It
answer
was
is
because
yes.
I don't like the playing both sides thing. I really don't.
The fucking prideful ass.
It's not cool. The like half commitment, you know, where like you're like
How's it playing? Well, I guess if he tweeted that out and then apologized, yeah, it would seem that way.
retweeting stuff or like putting stuff out
I'll
there.
give her
like,
that.
you know, wearing a Krispy Kreme shirt at the thing. It's like,
Okay, Chris.
you are not cute. To the people who matter,
What if he was it seemed like he was definitively picking one side. Like, just because he's there, he's picking another side. You can't be against her decision to kick Frankie Fresh, but be at the event itself. Clearly you can. Like, I don't think because you disagreed with Ian's decision, now you're a hypocrite for going to the event. Still.
people like who actually care about like,
Doesn't
you
make
know,
sense.
they'll see it and they know who you are, even if you're not gonna. You might as well fully commit. Yeah, be a hater or don't. That's the thing.
Wait, how was he not being a hater? Because he apologized? Is it because of the apology, or is it because he was there at Creator Clash in general? Because you're complaining about him being halfway with wearing Krispy Kreme shirts and like tweeting out the fucking poster or whatever before the apology even came into question, like even happened. Because you were mad to get that apology, right? So the apology, you could say, is like pick a side. But anything prior to that, he was very clearly pro Froggy Fresh. And even after, he's very clearly pro Froggy Fresh.
Just commit. You know, I have more respect. At least like some of these fuckers will like go around full out, you know, just saying it. Just commit.
Saying what? Yeah. The fucking vagaries are absurd with her. They just are out in the open the way they are. They're like a commentary channel. They're out in the open, being disgusting, being abhorrent. What is it? Say it, dude, bro.
Yeah, it's all of them. They all kind of want to like keep the door open. Do you know what I mean? They want to keep that door open at all times. And it's not respectable, to be honest. The truth is, I'm the one who needs to be on a leash, okay? And I am usually on a leash. But you know, if I'm
Anisa unleashed, dude.
gonna go live again, this is what it is. Yeah, they want to keep the DMs open. Yeah.
If I'm going live again, I just have to fucking keep on to... Dude, the whole like, she's trying to complain and play victim, like, oh my god, I'm trying to build an audience, and they're just not letting me. They're, like, weighing me down with all this past, but I'm trying to build a new, fresh audience. But she keeps talking about her past. She's like, if you want me to go live, this is what I'm gonna talk about. Why don't you fucking talk about shit that's different so you can gain an audience that you actually want, instead of continuing to engage in this fucking feud about your character. It's just making you look worse and more insane. Fuck, dude, if you wanted to, you could really just not have any of these issues. Like, it's all self-inflicted. And it's so frustrating to see her frustrated with something that is completely her own fault, and she can't recognize it, and she's just lashing out at everyone else. It's just crazy.
I'm like having my HRH moment. It's therapeutic. It is. It's very therapeutic because...
Yeah, and her talking about, like, therapy, like, it's very clear, like, it's so transparent what the fuck is going on with her here. And the solution is so simple! If someone just... Well, maybe people have tried to talk to her and she just won't listen.
We're just trying to, like, have fun and exist. That's the truth of it.
No! You're bringing up all the fucking shit people hate you for all the time. We're just trying to exist. Your podcast is literally called She Ruined My Career. The whole concept behind the name of your podcast is to be like, hey guys, look at us! We're changed, we're epic! She didn't ruin my career, it's awesome! That's not just trying to exist, that's trying to get the attention of people who used to watch you in order to get them to convert. Clearly said earlier, you have to build a whole new fan base. Then do it! Oh, I'm just trying to exist. What? You talked about me.
Like, we're just trying to have fun and exist. There's no political agenda. There's no, like, playing the field or trying to make the most money.
Clearly, it's not about making the most money. You're doing charity events, and you lost money on the event. Of course, it's not about making money. Maybe it should have been. I don't know.
Reason why Ian does anything that he's been doing is because he's been leading with, like, what he thinks is right and what he wants to do. That's where it ends.
And what he thinks is right is wrong. He's wrong. You can be wrong. Just admit you're wrong. Dude, it's the same. Dude, this fucking tweet is so hypocritical. They can't admit they're wrong. Dude, I'm not the one who needs to admit I'm wrong.
And I think, like, for some people...
And I will if you prove it.
That is so out...
And if you're good enough to prove it, and it's without a shadow of doubt, then you'd own me. I'm literally giving you a free pass to own me. But you're wailing here. How's this not meltdown with, like, the way your face looks right now?
Out of the realm of like, possibility. Like, they can't imagine it. They can't fathom it. So they have to, like, tack on all these, like, fake, like, dubious things.
She's literally projecting. That's literally what you did with my video. Oh my god. The fucking project. How do you not have the self-awareness? How can you be critiquing me in the exact way you know the critique applies to you and then not realizing how it applies to you? It's like she knows what she's doing wrong, but she can't. There's like one fucking light that's not flicking on in her head where it's like, this applies all to me specifically. Dude, instead of trying to like figure out how she is as a person individually, she's trying to diagnose the billions of other people around her. Maybe the issue is you. Maybe you need to look at yourself before you try to put on these weird critiques that don't even apply to me. I never had a job, minimum wage. I've never fucking been to college. I'm an incel. I fucking implied things. I said you were pocket money. All of that shit, you have no fucking, it's not true. And it's also something you have no proof for. I've never talked about my employment history really online other than the fact that I went to college for psychology and dropped out to do YouTube full time. But no, you know for a fact that I don't fucking... Dude, you're just... Like, at least when I fucking criticize people, based on what I'm listening to, not fucking random hearsay, but you're saying that's what I'm doing.
Possibility, like, they can't imagine it, they can't fathom it, so they have to, like...
You can't fathom that. You're wrong. You're wrong! You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're stupid. You're just as dumb as his facial expression right now.
Tack on all these, like, fake, like, dubious things.
Literally, that's what you're doing.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. That's what you're doing. What? Literally, and if it's not what you're doing, prove that any of what you said about this video is true by showing me directly instead of just saying, so before I get into implications, show me where it is.
There's a lot of things that are kind of like cooking. One of the things that we've been thinking about doing is, a third creator clash, and...
Don't. That's not a good idea. You don't come up with good ideas, Anisa. Like, I'm sure the gala was your idea. That wasn't a good one either. At least financially. If you could have pulled it off financially, it would have been fine, but...
Doing a documentary after all three.
And doing a documentary after all three. Why don't you just do a documentary on the first two, man? Or even just one on one and another on two. I'm sure they're both kind of unique stories in their own right.
So that's kind of why we're holding on to that.
So you want to do an entire third creator clash just to round out a trilogy for a fucking YouTube video? Bro, just cut your losses. Really? Well, I mean, it would be interesting. If it fails again, you know what? I'm not gonna stop you, bro. Like, it's, like, not in your best interest, admittedly, but it is in my best interest for you to make another fucking shitty failed event. So... Go ahead.
Originally, Dane was editing. We gave Dane the footage for Creator Clash 1, and he just struggled. He wasn't inspired to make anything, so that's why it kind of halted.
Yeah, because they were promising that they were gonna make a Creator Clash 1 video, but I guess Dan was. So wait, so Dan's the creative mind behind everything? It isn't just Ian? I'm kind of interested to see how much creative input they give to Dan, because the way she's talking about it seems like the video is Dan's project. Like, the event is iDubbbz, but the video is Dan's.
But I think, like, doing all three and having, like, a little end cap on it would be...
Why does it have to be? I know 3 is, like, a nice number to round out or whatever, but, like, with how many issues... This, again, is a big event with millions of dollars going into it. You can't just do an entire fucking event based on the fact that, oh, I want 3 and it would look nice for a video when you were having so much issues with the prior event.
It has to be therapeutic to tell the truth about your life. When people lie about you all the time or try to manipulate your image and who you are or who your husband is and does, you want to stand up for yourself in some way without validating the behavior prompted you to do so.
And you should! Call me out more, call me out directly, talk to me in real life directly, on Discord directly, anywhere directly. Do it.
It's very hard because anytime I do want to say something or clear something up or like kind of rebuttal, there's like a lot of people that are like, why are you giving it attention? Like, this is why it happens to you. But the truth is, like, that's not why it happens to me. And the
Okay, this is interesting, because now she's actually arguing a point that I legitimately brought up. So now she's not like arguing straw man. Like, I know she was guessing, obviously, because this was before this live stream, but this is something I'm saying, and you guys are saying and stuff. So let's see what her response is. Finally, something that she's responding to that's a real thing and not just like made up for my video.
To you. But the truth is, like, that's not why it happens to me. And the or to us.
And why does it happen?
The attention, giving it attention, it doesn't matter because they don't actually care. They actually don't care.
Okay, so the reason why it doesn't matter if you give them attention or not is because they don't care. Don't care about what? Wait, they don't care about the fact that you're reacting to them or giving them attention? No, that's the point of them giving, is to get a reaction out of you. What do they don't care about?
I have been dealing with this since 2016. And there was a long time where I didn't talk about it at all. And it was still a problem. So, like, I think, like, being able to talk about it is at least better than just, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck I was...
Oh, so she's saying that, it would happen regardless if she gave it attention or not. That's true, but I would argue the severity of it, alters dependent on if you respond or not, and that has been proven so. Anisa is always going to get shit, so she is right in the sense that, like, she's going to get a baseline amount of shit regardless of if she talks or not. But it's been proven, even by her own volition earlier in the stream, she said that she's lucky, she was lucky in the past because she wasn't getting as much hate as she is today. The reason she's getting more hate today than she did in the past is because of her reactions. So if she stayed just not reacting or giving attention, there would be that baseline amount of shit, but it wouldn't have escalated to the point where she now feels lucky looking back, or she would feel lucky if she were in a scenario that she was, you know, struggling with years ago.
I actually think most people, not most people, but those people specifically, if they were even remotely in any type of situation that me and Ian are in, they would have folded so fucking fast.
Let's engage with this. Because, I mean, we're reacting to the stream. Even though we know Anisa's fucking like, cuckoo, nutto, we might as well, like, engage with what she's saying, right? Because we're here. Okay, so Ian's situation. It depends, like, what point in the situation. If you place me in Ian's shoes, like, right after Creator Clash 2 ends, when he lost all the money and it's all fucked already, and he's now dealing with the public fallout and everything from that. Yeah, I could maybe see myself crumbling under those scenarios. It's a lot of fucking stress. He fucked up a lot. But if you're talking about, like, deciding when he had to decide whether or not to kick Froggy Fresh, obviously I would have decided to keep him on, so I wouldn't even be in that position. If I were put in his position after he kicked Froggy Fresh and I had to commit to that decision, I also think that I wouldn't fold under pressure and I could put out a more reasonable explanation, potentially. Beyond that, I think it's unsalvageable. And if it gets to a point where I can't salvage it, then yeah, obviously that's gonna weigh on me heavily. So, no, I mean, I think I would have handled, like, if I were in the position of running Creator Clash, having Froggy said what he said about, you know, my theoretical wife in this scenario, I definitely would have confronted Froggy on it. Probably would have called him. Probably would have tried to get on the same page about, like, what he's promoting, what's a joke, what isn't. Maybe even getting a conversation going between my wife and Froggy in order to, like, you know, clear anything up. And then if it goes bad, and if that conversation is, like, really bad or whatever, I probably would have recorded it just because it's a YouTube thing, not If this was like a non-YouTuber related event, I wouldn't. But like because it's a YouTuber thing, I probably, if I were iDubbbz, would have recorded it. And then if Froggy was being fucking nutto in that call and I was being like completely like agreeing or whatever, I would then kick Froggy and use that recording as the reason why. I don't know if I would have released that recording prior to the event, because obviously that would be very unprofessional. But whenever I go around to making the Froggy Fresh drama video, like Ian did, I would have used that recording to prove that Froggy Fresh was being unprofessional and just crazy with Anisa and Ian, that they had to kick him off. Or what would have really happened is that Froggy would have been reasonable, and then I would have worked out, with Froggy on that phone call. I delete the recording because there's no reason to have it. And then, he's back on the card and we clear everything up. So that would have been what I did. So I wouldn't have been, like, taking it standing down. I wouldn't have let, like, Froggy shit-talk my wife without finding out, like, what the fuck's going on. So I wouldn't, like, stand down, but I would also try to, resolve the situation instead of, kicking someone 3 weeks before the event, too. That's another factor of it. Like, you gotta keep, I gotta keep, if I'm iDubbbz, I gotta also keep, Chris Raygun in mind, his opponent. Switching opponents 3 weeks before the fight, kind of crazy. Who we're gonna get? Like, there's a lot to think about, so that's how I would have done it. I mean, there you go. What are you gonna say to that, Anisa? Like, there's your answer.
They would have folded
I'm an
so
open
fucking
book.
fast.
I'm an open book. You can stop guessing on if I will fold or what I would have done in this scenario, because I'm a fucking open book, and I'll admit to, like, certain things that I probably couldn't handle or would avoid because I'm just not as well equipped. Like, for example, I probably wouldn't be doing a Creator Clash event in the first place. That's why I'm not doing a Creator Clash event, right? Besides the fact that my channel's too small to probably, get enough support for an event like that. But even if I were in the position, I wouldn't, because I don't have the skill set and I don't have the interest to gain the skill set to do that properly.
They would have folded. They wouldn't have made it. In whatever way that means, quitting the...
And it's like, she's saying that as if, like, I've never had, like, public pressure on me. Obviously never to the extent that iDubbbz has. Or I've never had, like, any struggles in my real life, Which, by the way, there's a multitude of struggles and situations I've been through in my real life that outweigh any situation that I've gone through online. But there still have been hard and stressful situations I've gone through online. And I've talked about it here and there on the streams and stuff like that. But why do you assume I'm, like, Ian so much mentally stronger than me? Like, is that the only way you can compliment your husband? Is by, like, putting me down and saying, like, oh yeah, I would never have a fucking Dairy Queen job. I would never do this, that, and the other thing in order to make Ian look better. Why don't you just prop up Ian? Why don't you just say Ian's strong and he would never fold? Why do you have to say I would fold? Like, compliment your husband instead of attacking me. Like, the mindset is just so wrong here. Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna turn around on her. It's hypocritical, but fuck it, dude. If she had to deal with any of the stuff I had to deal with either in real life or online, she would fold and crumble too in places that I wouldn't. Fuck you, bitch.
You need a lot to go right to withstand this type of shit. You need solid relationships. You need, like, an okay...
Didn't you say the drama was ruining your relationship, and that was back in, like, 2017, 2016, when it was what you wish you had to deal with now because it's so much worse now? And your relationship was falling apart over it, but okay, solid relationships. Yep.
Case.
Just listing all the things you don't have.
Self-esteem. You need...
you don't have good self-esteem. You said you had body issues. You're basically listing all the stuff you don't have. So you're just saying that this is you? She's trying to own me and people, like commentators like me and critics or whatever, for something that she's describing as something she couldn't do for right now. You need self-esteem, but you just admitted you don't have those traits.
Like just
and by her own words too. I'm not even guessing. I'm going based on what she says. Like, I would say it's parasocial and cringe to guess on, like, Ian's relationship, like, you know, back during the, like, when OnlyFans controversies first started, or prior to that, or whatever. But now, with the fucking She Ruined My Career podcast and all this shit out, like, she's openly talking about the intricate details of her relationship, and the specifically, they're going into, like, their psychology and thought process on certain things. So, I feel, like, way, way, way more confident and less, like, parasocial, and way more well-equipped to make these assertions about what she's probably thinking or going through, because she is so vividly describing her thought processes and how she reacts to things. She gave me the blueprints for, like, someone with, like, knowledge of psychology to, like, put the pieces together. Like, she's literally, like all these podcasts are, like, literally stuff you would say to a therapist so a therapist could process it and then give you good advice based on their expertise. She's literally, it's literally like an online therapy session. She's giving me the fucking tools to figure out her mindset, which is why I end up so much in these, like, analyses of what Anisa's saying about me and other people, is why I always get, like, this, like, weird, like, sympathetic angle, or, like, you know, because I literally know probably what her thought process is, because from even the little I've heard of the fucking podcast, well, not little, but it's not everything, but from the fucking, like, 1% of the podcast or 2% of the podcast that exists total that I've watched, they give me just so many fucking details. That's all they fucking talk about. That's all they fucking talk about. She's the most predictable person ever now. Now, if me or anybody else guesses on, like, Ian's relationship or Anisa's relationship and comes to conclusions based on what they say in the podcast, that's not parasocial. Like, before you could say, oh, it's parasocial, you're guessing, you're going a little too into it. Now you can't say that, because they're just giving us all the fucking tools to make legitimately accurate assessments of their personal life, which is crazy. Because normally you would never be able to do that for a YouTuber, and you should never be able to do that for a YouTuber. But Anisa's giving us the tools. Like, the only reason I can kind of do that with Tipster is because I knew him, right? I was friends with him. Like, if I wasn't friends with Tipster, I would not be able to, you know, as confidently say the type of stuff I say during the Tipster Bully streams. But I can do that with Anisa despite not knowing her, because she gives out so much information, even in comparison to Tipster.
Yeah, I can already see the thumbnail. Anisa, iDubbbz GF, unhinged! Yeah, they won't even put my name in there, though. Yeah, I've tried every method.
Isn't that isn't that, what actually is the title of these videos? These Anisa videos? Because there's a Sense of Society one. Yeah, iDubbbz girlfriend. Wait, see, X8, he put Anisa in there. Here, he didn't put iDubbbz or Anisa, dude. They're not relevant enough for either, dude. Yeah, it seems like these are kind of the three main videos. Dude, just the way the thumbnail got enhanced by Dumpy, that's... Dude, the thumbnails are literally the same. Dude, this is funny. It's the same fucking video 3 times!
And some people just don't care about your perspective at all. Yes. Yeah, they don't care.
I don't care about Anisa's perspective. She clearly isn't subbed to Mayo Monkey. Because I was even this charitable in the Mayo Monkey vid. Actually, I feel like the thumbnail and the title for the Mayo Monkey vid on the Anisa Patreon shit is I feel like it's actually kind of inaccurate. Like, it looks a lot more harsh than it is. Content cope melts down, which is all true, but, like, I don't go that ham in the video. Especially compared to other videos. Dude, I went ham in the Tipster and Bears video. Bro, some people even complaining. They're like, stop screaming, bro. I'm like, dude, I can't help it. It's Tip.
No, I don't care. That's kind of where I'm at. They don't care. I don't care. Hey, we both care. Live on our own realities. Your reality, I'm a horrible witch that's ruined everything that you hold dear.
What? Everything that I hold dear? That's so egotistical. You really think... Even, like, a mega fan of iDubbbz. Like, really? All that you hold...
My reality,
I know she's over-exaggerating, but shut the fuck up. Everything you hold dear. He's a fucking YouTuber. He doesn't have, like, that much impact. Like, you're over-exaggerating the amount of impact Ian has on people.
A fucking asshole. So we both, you know, hey.
I think you need help.
If
That's
I
what
knew
I
a large
think.
majority of the internet hated me, I'd be pretty miserable. It's hard. It's the thing that probably made it the hardest is that it's the biggest mirror that is in me and Ian's life, right? Like, the most people share their opinions of us on the internet. In our personal life, people don't share their opinions about us other than like, oh, that video you made was cool, or oh, it's really nice seeing you guys, or you know, your
It's the biggest mirror.
puppy's cute.
Yep. Twitterverses,
Like,
dude.
nice thing.
Dude, the content creators see Twitterverses come out on them, they're like, fuck, dude. All my stupidity mirrored back to me. I can't do shit about it. Let me just lie about the video real quick and say there's implications.
You know, our nice things from our family, supported from our family and friends, but like the opinions and how many there are, it's very loud. So it becomes a very large mirror. And sometimes it becomes hard. You get lost because you're like, well, I must be a piece of shit. But in reality, it's like the mirror is so warped on here on purpose because they want you to be a bad person. That like when you look into it, you look into it and you see a hideous
I
person.
mean, that's true to an extent. It depends on the person. Like, everyone has different intentions with this shit, right? There's always going to be people who are just going to be like never satisfied no matter what you do.
I never hated you guys. I just didn't know anything beyond the stories from the stupid commentary guys. I can't stand. Yeah, I think probably the most frustrating thing about all of it is like there's so much misinformation and the stories get telephoned so heavily that like I think now the story is like, yeah, it gets so.
Well, maybe it'd be easier if you didn't fucking delete VODs, say stuff behind Patreon podcasts, fucking not be clear with anything in regards to like your fucking event, like.
Fucked. And the first iteration of it is a lie, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And there's no way to fight it because a lot of these channels are like they get amplified. And how do you fight that? You know, like I'm talking to 72 people right now.
That's a good point. But, like, even if people did listen, it doesn't make it any better. And people are listening to the clips, and they hear what you say, and they disagree. And they think you're cringe. Like, showing the full thing isn't gonna... Like, yeah, you have a smaller voice than these people hating on you now. And maybe if you say something good, it won't be worth covering, so no one's gonna see it. So maybe I get that, but... No, I'm being too charitable. Bitch!
Yeah, it's like you're losing a propaganda war. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Because it's like, even, okay, so I'm talking to 72 people. One of them will grab this clip and twist it to whatever, add their like narration to it, and then it will go out to like 400,000 people. And
I mean,
they talk
that
so
is
confidently.
true.
Somebody on my Instagram comments this morning said Ian's on drugs. They had, let me read this to you because it was so crazy. The response.
I mean, that is something that can happen. That's... She's not wrong there, I
was like, what the
guess.
fuck is going on?
But I'm looking at the full context and not any better, so...
It was on my like post just from the.
Like, you can list off all these fucking problems, but the reason you're getting into shit is not because of those problems. Those problems are just a symptom of you and the shit you're getting into.
Memories on my iPhone, but it says now he is broke, unemployed, and on drugs. Broke, unemployed, and on drugs. How is it even possible to turn a man from being a millionaire and loved to having hate channels getting 10 times your podcast views? Next level personality disorder. And what did he get in return? A manipulative tomboy that sells her body for a small monthly subscription.
Why is she even reading that? What? Why is she even... That's clearly like a retarded comment. Why is
Somebody
she
said,
even taking
you
that
need help.
seriously?
And they said, which part is incorrect? This person said, he's far from broke or unemployed. Being unemployed doesn't mean that you're not generating ad revenue. I doubt he's on drugs. He was just in Australia. I doubt he'd be able to travel internationally on drugs. This
True.
person replied to this confidently. They said on the podcast that they were broke. What? I don't...
Yeah, dude, I deal with people that retarded in my Twitter mentions almost every day. Like that, like, obviously I don't get, like, hate anywhere close to the level of Anisa, and obviously they're being done with, like, much, much less heavy shit that's being said or what have you, but there are people who are just like, this is a thing I think, and then someone replies, like, no, because this isn't this, and then they'll respond like, oh, I saw it somewhere. Because they just heard it somewhere. They're just talking casually, like as if they were talking to a friend, like, oh, I heard a rumor that blah, blah, blah. But they're not saying, like, something definitively as a creator. Like, she's saying, like, oh, people are saying this with full confidence. But the way she read out that tweet being typed seemed like something that someone would be like, oh, I just heard it somewhere. You know? And you gotta keep in mind, people on Twitter who aren't content creators, they're gonna be talking like normal people, not gonna act like everything they say is under scrutiny, because it isn't. Unlike for us, where it is, because we have more eyes on us. So, obviously, if I said something like that, that would be like, because I have like a reputation and eyes on me and people are gonna see it, that's gonna be like, if I get something wrong, that's gonna be actually harmful. Whereas, you know, if a fucking random shitter on Twitter gets something wrong and it gains no traction or whatever, then ignore. This is like different, and they're not obligated to give the most in-depth, solid response. They can say bullshit and then be like, oop, I don't know, like, they're not, upheld to the standards that we are. Even if they maybe should upheld themselves to that standard. It's much different saying some random bullshit to, like, one person in a room vocally or a couple people versus, saying something online that, more people could see. But, you don't have that responsibility when you're small. No one's gonna fucking look. You're just using it like a normal person. I don't know. It's like she thinks everyone's a fucking content creator or some shit.
Don't know where that came from.
Like, maybe she has not lived in... She literally hasn't lived in the real world, dude. I don't know, dude. I feel like everything she said is just projection.
His monthly views, 1.2 million, equal less than 2K per month, which I don't know where that's coming from. 2K per month in AdSense. I know because I have AdSense, which everybody's AdSense, like, clicks per whatever is different, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's right. This person is wrong, but who cares?
And he also said that he's on drugs on his podcast. The rest is correct as well. Like, what do you do to that? What do you say to that? Like,
is that commenter representative of what every, like, commentary YouTuber is saying? Because she's, like, trying to criticize commentary YouTubers, and then she's bringing up these things, and you can criticize both. Maybe, like, I'm kind of mixing the two, but the way she goes back and forth between the two makes it seem like one is kind of a symptom of the other, or like that I think the same way that this crazy fan thinks, but I'm not going to say it out loud because it's bad for my career. Like, is that what she really thinks? Because, like, no YouTube commentator who's made videos about this I've seen is saying the type of shit that you're reading out right now, or believes any of the shit that you're saying right now.
Somebody was, like, trying to have a fair discussion, and they were like, nope, all true. They said this on their podcast. Said none of that on our podcast. That's what I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, there are people out there who legitimately...
Yeah, I get people like that too with my shit. Like, for example, you saying, like, obviously, we're talking about, like, random commenters, and I get that too. Obviously, probably not to the degree that she does, because I'm less well-known. But regardless, yeah, I get those people too. And you just ignore them. But, I guess you're not mentally strong. But you said you were mentally strong, and that I would fold in situations that you wouldn't.
Like, they don't see very much about us, and the stuff that they do see is, like, this shit, and then they're like, oh, that's so sad. Ian's on drugs. But, whatever.
People in your real life are seeing, like, random shit or comments like that and believing it. If they know Ian personally and believe that there's a chance that he could be doing that shit, like, isn't that a bit on Ian as well? And you guys, I don't know. I don't know the intricacies, but...
Yeah, no, I know it's true. You can't. It's just crazy, because they start talking to other people, and then it's like, yeah.
Dude, you're so paranoid. They start talking to other people and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Dude, here's the thing. People talk about me behind the scenes probably all the time. As many other, we're drama creators. Gossip creators, essentially. Of course, there's going to be gossip behind the scenes. You got to acknowledge that, right? Obviously. And the way I deal with that is, like, then I'm just going to be someone who I'm not ashamed of then. I make mistakes and I'll apologize for it. And I'll be ashamed of those mistakes and then apologize, but then I'm not ashamed of myself, like, overall as a person anymore, because I acknowledge the mistake. So I be myself, to the best of my ability, and then people can spread rumors about that. People also say bad things about me behind the scenes, but that's based on, like, something they see in a YouTube video, not their personal interaction with me. Yeah, if someone's talking shit about me based on a personal interaction I had with them, like in real life or something, then maybe I'd be paranoid about that, because then I know I'm doing something wrong that is really, like, rubbing people the wrong way or something. But
Ian is I think the doing drugs thing is getting there. It's coming from the Adderall. Like, he got diagnosed with ADHD, so he, like,
so they're just, like, joking around. Yeah. He does drug, yeah.
In that comment, they attacked you as a woman, your body, and speculated on your income and your sobriety. It's a form of delusion they're doing. It's unfairable. It's weird because they really do cook up. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like you have no agency. Because, like, it doesn't matter what we do. Like, we're very happy, very comfortable. We're, like, making a podcast because we don't have to worry, that much. Like, life is going to be fine no matter what, is very much where we're at right now. And
that's good.
We're not promoting the podcast very hard, and we're not, like, trying to make...
That's a lie. We're not promoting the podcast very... Dude, okay. Ian uploaded a video that he knew would get a lot of views because it's a collab with Chad and Max. One of the first ones they did in a long time. Look at the fucking end of this, dude. We're not trying to push the podcast. Dude, look at the end. What?
I've been taking
purposely on a video that would get a bunch of views because Chad and Max are in it.
Classes.
Oh.
So
Oh,
I just
we're
want to
not
try
pushing the
some
podcast.
improv.
Corporate comedy.
Like, why would he even lie? That's such a weird
Yeah,
lie
you
to
spent
put.
$65,000 on improv classes, so let's see if it paid off.
Like, this is a full, like, half a minute. Just say you promoted it, and it's just not... People just don't want to watch it, and that's unfortunate, but you like doing it. Who cares?
And take
Like,
the
why
floor.
do you have to lie and say, like, oh, well, it's not getting views because we don't promote it? That's not why it's not getting views. It's not getting views because a lot of people don't want to watch it. Just say that. Like, but be like, I like doing it, so fuck it. That's owning it. Being like, I don't care if people don't like this. I'm gonna do it for myself. Fuck you. That's owning it, not like, oh, we're not promoting it. That's cope. You are promoting it.
So brain.
What's he doing?
Okay, he's on patrol.
That's a
He
patrol.
definitely has the answer.
You are beautiful.
Oh, he's nice.
Okay, but I need to kill him.
How do you crush it?
We're not promoting the podcast very hard, and we're not like trying to make it we're not trying to make it viral. We want it to be a slow build of a community that we really like. That's like the whole point of it. And to have people like tell us what is wrong with our lives or what's going on or why things are the way they are is very hard. It's very
You literally talk about it openly on your podcast all the fucking time, what's going on in your life and your struggles and what's working and what isn't. It's basically like a couples therapy fucking podcast. Of course I'm gonna engage with what you're talking about. What, am I supposed to just, like, listen and not say anything as you talk about, like, how much fucking pussy hair you'd prefer to have or whatever that one podcast that I reacted to that was cringe a couple months ago was from? She was like, oh yeah, I don't know if Ian's like, I don't care if you shave your pussy, like what, and talking about like intricate parts of your relationship, and you're like, oh, it's weird and creepy when they talk about this. You're talking about it, we're engaging with your content. What do you fucking mean?
very jarring.
What do you mean it's very jarring? It would be if you were fucking not, if the whole point of your fucking show wasn't to talk about your relationship.
It's like the Marvel channels that I
literally
definitely don't
called
watch.
She Ruined My Career. The whole name of the podcast is based on your guys' relationship, but you
Like pull a 48-minute breakdown of a screenshot from their asses. That's crazy.
Dude.
But yeah, so Ian got diagnosed with ADHD, and is now taking Adderall, and it's helped him a fuck ton. It's not even that much. He's on like 5 milligrams.
That's great. That's great. That's great for him. I'm diagnosed with ADHD. I don't take Adderall specifically. I think it's a different ADHD med. I can look up the specific name. So this is what I take, which I don't think is Adderall. I think it's something else. Oh yeah, that's different. This is like dexafulcanite. But I mean, they have basically similar effects. But yeah, good for him. I'm sure that's helping him a lot. My ADHD meds helped me a shit ton. So congrats to Ian for that.
Low release or something. Fuck ton. It's not even that much. He's on like 5 milligrams taking Adderall.
But why is she getting mad at it? I guess because people saying he's a drug dealer off of it's a joke. It's a joke. It's commonly known that a lot of people with ADHD or what ADHD meds is Adderall, and a lot of people with ADHD take it. That's common knowledge. So someone's making a joke. Do you legitimately think that people don't understand that the drug Ian's taking is not because he's a fucking drug addict, but because it's prescribed for his ADHD? Pretty sure people are just making a joke. Like, why are you taking this so literally, bro?
It's not even that much. He's on like 5 milligrams slow release.
It's not even that much! Slow release. Slow release is great. I have slow release as well. But why is she, like, mad at it? What?
Or something. Twice
Well, I know why she's mad, but it's just the reason is so fucking
a day.
moronic.
So it equals like 10 total.
Like, someone's joking about Ian being on drugs because he takes ADHD meds and you're responding to it, like, fully seriously getting mad at the accusation. Like, holy shit. Like, you were so disconnected from reality.
Yeah,
It's
I think
insane.
that's what they mean by on drugs. I'm not sure. But I don't know.
And you're not even sure, dude. You're just assuming the worst. See? If you fucking think about all this shit, no wonder you're gonna be, like, fucking melting down all the time. Stop. You need, like, a hobby. You need, like, something else to do. You're spending too much time thinking about this shit. Does she have a job outside of OnlyFans and, like, the stream and podcast? Because clearly it's not taking up enough of her time.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like figure out what. I thought going to therapy would actually make me want to get off the internet. Like I thought, like I would go to therapy and I'd be like, oh, of course, like, I need to get off the internet. But for some reason, like therapy has made me want to like come back to the internet. I love doing this. I love talking. I love riffing. I love entertaining. I loved who I was career-wise before I stepped foot into the iDubbbz community. I loved that. I was so happy in that aspect of my life, in my career, and I gave it up because I thought at the time that was the right thing to do. I thought that it would stop people from like obsessively. I don't know. I thought it was the right thing to do. And It's weird. Going back to therapy has made me realize how much I don't want to like let that go, which kind of sucks.
Well, you thought it was the right thing to do, but she talked about joining OnlyFans earlier in this stream because she quit streaming to do OnlyFans instead because streaming wasn't bringing enough money, I think she was saying. But then she was also saying that she was getting a lot of hate. I don't know what... Oh, she was saying not enough money before, but now it's the hate. So I'm just going to say it's the hate now because I don't want to go based on stuff she said years ago. So, and now she's saying she regretted moving to OnlyFans. Dude, is she saying she regretted OnlyFans? She would have rather been a streamer than a fucking pussy provider? Wow. I think in a roundabout way, she just said she regrets the OnlyFans, guys.
It's because like I'm figuring that out now. When
maybe not. Maybe she just wished she could do both. She didn't wish she didn't quit streaming, but would also do the OnlyFans, which might have worked out well for her. It worked out for Amaranth, didn't it? Didn't Anisa's OnlyFans actually like make decent money too? Like, weren't people actually subbing to it despite the hate? Yeah, actually, I would have regret that if I were her. She could have, dude. She could have double dipped, dude. She could have did the streamer to OnlyFans pipeline. Whenever I critique Anisa with the OnlyFans as well, and I'm kind of in the minority, I think, with this opinion, but I think one of the major issues with the whole, like, Anisa OnlyFans thing, especially after the controversy, when she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway, I don't care, you know, I'm not gonna buckle under pressure. I think she should have not buckled under pressure, and then she should have been, like, pushing herself. She should have been like, yeah, I'm iDubbbz slutty girlfriend, fuck you guys, here's my titties, sub now. She should have went fucking... And she said she's fucking unhinged and needs to be on a leash. She should have been off the leash. She should have been like, fuck you guys, and like arguing with everyone, and then like promoting her titties, like, I don't give a fuck about your opinions. You're an incel. Here's my fucking tits. It'd be cringe, but she could literally build a brand off of that and make a shit ton of money selling her fucking cuckoo tits, dude. She's like, I'm crazy. I'm going in. I'm saying all this crazy shit. And I have my pussy out. Sub now. Dude, people might have fucking flocked in. But instead, she's like, oh, I'm gonna do OnlyFans, and you can't do anything about it, but now I'm done promoting it, I'm just doing my podcast with iDubbbz. And, if Froggy talks about it on Creekgrass, he gets kicked. Don't talk about my OnlyFans. Should've been the opposite, dude. It should've been like, yeah, Froggy, talk more about my OnlyFans. I'll kick your ass. I'll kick your ass in the boxing. I've been practicing. I'll kick your ass in the boxing ring. And I fuck better than you on OnlyFans sub now. Dude, what if she did that? I mean, she'd get hate, but at least she'd be making bank.
Like a very healthy
I think that's what she should have done.
And now it's like, well, what's the point? Like, sometimes it feels like, what's the point? You know, like, can I even build it back up? Like, should I, you know, go do trades or...
I don't even know why I'm giving
They're just separating people from the content and then dehumanizing the content, and then it makes it easy to, like, hate consume it. That's basically what happens. I agree that Twitch is a better community than YouTube right now, for sure. I wonder if I made some YouTube videos and kind of like told people that I was streaming on Twitch. I wonder how a YouTube video on my channel would even do. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate that.
I don't know. It would probably get hate, because I don't know how many people who sub to Anisa would even remember that they're subbed. I don't know.
Yeah, like they definitely, I don't think they see me, or I know for sure they don't see me as a person. I think they do see me as a character. I think that a lot of them see Ian as their, like, friend.
Okay, with seeing someone, like, as a character or whatever, that's just, like, called not being parasocial. Maybe you should, like, acknowledge that they're human, especially in certain scenarios, but generally, they're just a fucking figure on your screen to, like, entertain you, because they're never gonna meet you in real life or whatever. That is, I think, the right approach to, like, look at it. Not to the point of being inhumane, though. I think that's kind of what she's getting at. But generally, that is kind of the state you want to be in. I think, dude, the whole parasocial theory that she's going to bring up with iDubbbz, already said a million times, it's projection. You're parasocial to the haters, that's why I can't stop talking about them. That's why the podcast is named after that concept of people thinking, you know, Ian ruined your career, or you ruined Ian's career, or whatever. They're rent-free in your head, you're coping.
Like, I think a lot of them think Ian is, like, sending them messages or something.
What?
Like, the way that people talk about Ian is, I don't know, it's very disturbing.
You were just reading the wrong comments.
Really, making YouTube videos but streaming the filming. That's so interesting. I feel like people here are more of a real community. I agree. I've always been a Twitch hoe. Like, I've loved Twitch. I've been on Twitch since 2014. That's the other thing. That's, man, yeah. The people who say, like, I, like, used Ian, or I'm only relevant because of Ian, or whatever. Like, I'm the least relevant I've ever been in my life. And I have been the least relevant I've ever been in my career being attached to Ian. I was a lot more relevant and a lot more, like, popular pre-dating Ian on here. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I would say her career was in a better place prior. I don't even know.
I use
But
it,
I
yes.
mean, it's just because it's in such a bad place now. All of our own volition.
Oh, hello.
Well.
Hi, my wallet. It's okay. I'm just like venting.
Okay.
I'm giving
Are we
commentary
almost
channels new
done?
clips.
Yes.
That's it. I should have titled it that. Giving commentary YouTubers new clips.
That's true. At least she's self-aware about it. Is she done?
Please remember
yet,
that the same thing happened to H3H3 over time. The people that had at first hated his switch from edge content to more interviewed center content came back because they saw how grounded and personal he became. The same will happen to you in the end. That, Matt, I really, 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 really appreciate that optimism. And
Damn, dude, they're referencing Nick being nice to H3. And I was saying that earlier, dude. I was saying in the stream, like, dude, I don't know why, but there's something about Ethan where I can't forgive him. Maybe the same could be for Anisa and iDubbbz. Maybe the same. But they need to fucking get themselves checked. Especially Anisa, dude. Like, she just needs help, man.
we actually look to Ethan when we're having a hard time, to be honest. Like, sometimes, like, we'll just think about, like, Ethan did it, and Ethan's doing great. You're basically their job. They should be thankful you're bringing... That's true. Yeah, subscribing to the Patreon was crazy. We were very shocked by that one. Shocked, but not shocked.
Oh, wait, they're talking about, like, that I subbed to the Patreon real quick. Shocked, but not shocked. Well, I found out that you were talking about me on the Patreon podcast, and I wanted to be fair and, like, at least pay for it if I'm going to show it to everybody, right? Is that, like, crazy? That I wanted, like, the full context to what you were saying about me? Is that fucking crazy? Like...
Be thankful you're bringing... That's true.
And that I paid fair and square for it? Like, sorry?
You're basically their job. They should be thankful you're...
That one comment's right. I mean, it is low-key my job. Like, with talking about this Anisa subject, like, this VOD is from May 30th, right? And today is June 1st. I'm just covering it because they were talking about me, and it's kind of the thing to cover. Like, I'd rather just talk about Tipster all day, to be honest. So, I mean, yeah, I am kind of talking about this because it's my job low-key. Guys! Don't know if you've enjoyed so far the coverage. Come on. But yeah, I mean, they are talking about me. It's interesting. And I do like talking about this type of stuff. But, dude, I'm literally waiting for her to shut the fuck up and talk about other shit so I can get to Tipster, dude. That's what I'm fiending for, honestly. But I do want to be thorough. I'm really a stickler for just getting, like, all possible context on what people are saying. So,
yeah, subscribing to the Patreon was crazy.
I don't know how, dude. I don't
know
know how that's
Creator
crazy.
Clash, and I did not come up on their...
I really don't know how that's crazy. Thank you for the $5 for the Mayo Monkey emote. Like, I thought I was kind of being nice by even giving them the money.
Work. Essentially, I found the backlash to his development.
It's only $5,
into his later adulthood,
but,
to be a form of, I want my friend in my head to conform to my behavioral choices and...
Dude, it's just... Fuck. When I see someone just, like, when I see myself, and it's not just me, it's the whole situation, but, like, I'm referenced in it, like, specifically. When I see that me and, like, a bunch of other people are living rent-free in their heads, I just want to be able to, like, make it so we can come to an understanding so I don't have to be rent-free in their head. I just think it's sad that they're thinking about me all the time and guessing about me when they could just reach out and ask, and then their worries and ruminations would be gone or at least clarified. Like, to me, it's just like... It's sad that they're letting, like, me live so rent-free in their head, because I am me. I know how unproblematic I am. I'm perfect! So why am I so rent-free in their head? Stop! Stop! Focus on dude! Bro, like, I'm glad that they're, like, kind of responding to the critiques I gave them in the video, but they're not even properly responding. They just say it's, like, out of context, implying they're complaining a year later. Like, bro. Like, I don't mind you responding or thinking about me or whatever, but do it in a productive way. This is so unproductive! Why am I rent-free in your head? Get me out! I didn't pay for this shit! Let someone else move into the space! A family of 4 are starving on the street because of this apartment that you're giving me rent-free that I don't even want to be in! Give it to the kids! They're dying!
My therapist said it best. It's really interesting having a therapist, like, looking into all of this, but she said, like, the types of people who are angry are people who have probably been told their whole life that their life would be better if they got a girlfriend, and they're seeing Ian change because of a girl.
What?
Or, like, they've decided...
This theory is just, like... There's so many common sense reasons that are the reasons all this is happening. But she just doesn't see it, and she's making up this weird fucking theory that people are mad. They're legitimately all the people that are mad at Ian for not giving money to charity, which is a critique that is completely unrelated to like relationships or whatever, right? Because like there's like two, I guess, groups of like iDubbbz haters, and they can crisscross. But there's people who hate iDubbbz for his relationship with Anisa, and then people who hate iDubbbz for, you know, fucking up Creator Clash and other various things. And then there's like, you know, overlap or whatever. But like, you really think everybody who critiqued Creator Clash is parasocially attached to iDubbbz, has no girlfriend, and is mad about Creator Clash because Ian has a girlfriend and they can't get one? What kind of like weird like fantasy is like yeah, there's probably some people who watched iDubbbz and have bad social skills and can't get a girlfriend. Obviously, just like there's probably a bunch of people who watch any YouTube video and can't get a girlfriend, because when you can't get a girlfriend, what are you gonna do instead? Watch YouTube. Like what? I don't know. This is probably like what should YouTube add like analytics for like how much pussy someone gets? Like, you have a 50% incel audience. 50% of your viewers has never been laid. Like, what?
It's because of a girl. And he's like, you know, not doing what they want, and it's challenging their like ideas of what
they're not doing what they want. But if they can't get a girl and they want a girl and they're frustrated that they can't get a girl, they know that their methods suck. So why would they get mad at Ian for having other methods? In this example, wouldn't they be inspired by Ian and copy him in order to get a smoke show like you? What are we...
They've told themselves is okay, right? Like, it kind of puts in their face,
like,
again.
Even this, like, hypothetical doesn't even make sense.
And, like, especially when people say, like, oh, he's better.
How is this her leading theory on why people hate her?
He's matured or whatever. Like, it makes them angry. Because it's like, why are you telling me that this is, like, what I need, right? And she's like, I'm not saying they need to get a girlfriend, but I'm saying that that's definitely something that they've heard plenty of times in their life, and it makes them angry seeing that manifest in someone that they held on to so, like, dearly. Of, like, I can be like this.
There's so much implication in theory crafting here. And she was complaining about people theory crafting about them when they... Dude, this whole stream is just like... I need to stop reacting to people who are this terminally retarded, because, like, my sense of, like, what is of average intelligence versus below average is, like, getting completely skewed down. Like, I'm thinking retards are normal because I'm listening to the most deranged motherfuckers on the planet in terms of their fucking logical thinking structure. Like, I'm listening to Anisa and Tipster for hours on end, and my fucking concept of what's not retarded is fucking losing grasp, bro.
I can be like, this guy's funny, this guy's great, I'm like this guy, we're friends. And then that guy
like,
says,
well, it's not as retarded as something Anisa said, so again, no.
I actually I'm not really into that anymore, and then it kind of, like, fucks everything up. Yeah, going outside, I think boxing and meeting communities and meeting people outside of the internet and having conversations, like, also just life. I don't think people understand, like, a lot has happened to me and Ian outside of online that has been very...
So dude, it's projection again. They're like, these guys never go outside, that's why they hate us. And then they're like, damn, when we finally decide to go outside in our 30s, whoo, life really changed for us. Like, iDubbbz is literally the person that they are describing that hate iDubbbz. That's probably why they have that theory, because they've been inside all day. She literally said she was isolated inside, now obviously because of COVID, but like, she's a Twitch streamer. Like, yeah, these people are inside too much, man.
When the OnlyFans stuff was happening, we had nowhere to go. Everything was shut down, even the fucking hiking trails. That was the beginning of, like, when it rains it pours, because we were so mad. We were so mad, and there was nothing we could do other than sit in our house and, like, watch Hunter x Hunter. And we were like, fuck it, we're gonna go on a walk. Like, there was, like, this abandoned golf course that you could, like, walk. Nobody thought to shut it down, and we went there with Blitz, and we walked for, like, 2 hours.
Whoa! During COVID lockdown, dude? Oh my god, did you wear your mask?
Walked for 2 hours, and, like,
dude, exposed.
That next morning we woke up, and Blitz couldn't lower his head to drink water, eat food. I was so scared. I thought...
But hopefully fucking...
I was so scared.
Actually, in reality, no one really gives a fuck. And there's no reason to fucking virtue signal about COVID anymore. So, lol, who cares? If anyone criticizes them for fucking walking out in a park during lockdown when everyone's outside anyway, I think you're cringe, man. I'm gonna this is what I'll defend Anisa on. Walking in the park during COVID with iDubbbz. To let off steam after the OnlyFans controversy. That's what I'll defend them on, dude.
His spine, so he couldn't...
That's my charitability.
I'm not gonna play Baldur's Gate today, but probably tomorrow. I'll probably be on tomorrow. I kind of just impromptu did the stream because I was bored, and I'm just like waiting for Ian to get home. I'm probably gonna get off and eat pretty soon here, but because I haven't had lunch.
Dude, she has too much free time. She has too much free time. Dude, she has too much free time. Get another hobby. Well, I guess streaming is her hobby, but don't talk about this on stream. Like, I'm literally telling you, make less content for me. That is how much I'm fucking done with your retardation, alright? Ian, I'm not parasocially connected, blah, 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 blah. Just shut the fuck up, man. Like, just be normal, dude. Just be normal, bro.
Yeah, no, it's like very when it rains. Like,
I'm tired of these weird-ass fucking, like, creators being fucking weird-ass non-human freaks, dude.
Of things getting
You know what I'm saying? Just fucking talk, dude. How hard is it to just like fucking just chill and talk? Fucking like what? Everyone's also riled up on the internet. Calm the fuck down.
For sure.
Bruh.
COVID really fucked up so much, man. But also, I was living by the beach back then, and it was sick because the beaches were empty all the time. That would be so magical feeling. It was amazing. Nature was healing for a little bit. Yeah, wasn't it like there were dolphins in the
Okay, we're done.